given proudly for the cause. Those gallant lives given for their country, and to you now the story I will tell. Won't you sing them a song, sing a lullaby to heaven, let your comrades know you understand. Won't you sing them a song, sing a lullaby to heaven, that our lads and lassies will sing along. Remember Peter Cleary and Fergal Carahar, both were murdered by the forces of the Crown. We'll speak with pride of Jim Lockery and Sean Campbell. In South Armagh these gallant men did dwell. Won't you sing them a song, sing a lullaby to heaven, let your comrades know you understand. Won't you sing them a song, sing a lullaby to heaven, and our lads and lassies will sing along. In North Armagh, remember McIlvenna, Crossy, Burns, Toman and McCare. And from Tyrone, McKerney, Cardy and Coney, McNally, Ryan, Tony Doris too. Won't you sing them a song, sing a lullaby to heaven, let your comrades know you understand. Won't you sing them a song, sing a lullaby to heaven, that our lads and lassies will sing along. Remember Bob Kelly and Jim Bryson, Skipper Burns, Sean Savage and Billy Reid. These men all hail from the gallant Belfast Battalion. So many more I cannot them all name. Won't you sing them a song, sing a lullaby to heaven, let your comrades know you understand. Won't you sing them a song, sing a lullaby to heaven, that our lads and lassies will sing along. Let's not forget the girls who died for Ireland. Pettigrew, Fitzsimons and Myra Drum. From Portadown came young Julie Dugan. Reid Farrell in Gibraltar made her stand. Won't you sing them a song? Sing a lullaby to heaven, that your comrades know you understand. Won't you sing them a song? Sing a lullaby to heaven, that our lads and lassies will sing along.
Well, folks, how's all doing? Good afternoon and welcome along to the very first Rebel Sundays live podcast on the Rebel podcast of 2022. Hope you all had a very good Christmas, whatever you get up to, and a happy New Year to you as well. So, thank you very much for joining me, folks, on today's show. We're starting off here at 1 o'clock until 4 o'clock this afternoon. And about 2:30 today, folks, going to be joined by special guest, the first guest of 2022, the legendary Damian Quinn, folks. Really looking forward to having Damian on the show. So he's going to be on about 2:30, folks. We're looking forward to that. I just put a wee post there in the comments section. So if we just all please share the stream, especially if you're listening on Facebook. Just share it to any satellite pages you're on, Republican pages you're on. Just copy and paste the link for me and share it, and it'll be much appreciated, folks. So yep. Right, so we're going to jump into the comment. No, actually, we'll do our normal theme tune before we jump into the comments, and hopefully we're going to have a new opening tune and finishing tune starting off next week. I was meant to have it for today, but no, my boy Tony is very busy, so I'm not going to bust his balls about it. So hopefully he'll have it done for me for next week's shows. Here we go.
You're listening to the Rebel podcast with Louis Carson. Tasha the Gerstock, mission Ford Crowley Rebel le Louis McCarson.
Folks, here we go. Yes, thank you very much for joining me again this afternoon. So we'll jump into the comments here we'll have listening in today. First comment, there we go. Beaver Snatcher, Dave, what is the crack, mate? Good to see you all. Hello, beautiful people. Terry Mealy listening on YouTube today. Happy New Year, everyone. James McMullen listening on Facebook there. Love this song. I was obviously talking there about Lullaby to Heaven from Justice there. On YouTube, Lee Curry, Happy New Year, everyone. Beaver says, yeah, Happy New Year to the Fenians and the Fenians only. Now, that's a bit sectarian. Come on, Dave. We don't want to be starting off out there of the new year. Happy New Year to everyone. Scott Temperley, hello and happy 2022 to everyone. Good man, Scott. On Facebook as well. James McMullen, hi all, Happy New Year for 2022. Terry Craney, Happy New Year, everyone. Hope you're all doing well. There's Elaine who's listening in today from the RVH. So, Elaine, listen, Marty just told me earlier on what happened. I had no idea, seriously, or I would have sent you a wee message, so my apologies. But I hope you're feeling better, and I hope you do get out tonight. So, we're all thinking of Elaine today, who's listening to the show in the RVH, probably on our earphones. Although we prefer the rest of your ward to hear what you're listening to, so we'd. Ray Callahan, listening on YouTube. Happy New Year to you all. From Ray and Karen in Dublin. There's Proven Mill, listening on Facebook. Hail, Happy New Year. Paul Walsh, listening on YouTube today. Happy New Year. From the Rebel County of Cork. Dave Sinclair there on Facebook. Afternoon, everyone. Happy New Year to you all. From West Lothian. There's Billy Boy on YouTube, listening. Gary Sharvin on Facebook. Hi Ro, Happy New Year, mate. Good on yourself. Patricia Clark on Facebook as well. Happy New Year from Massachusetts on a cold Sunday morning. Right, so we'll jump into a few more wee comments here in a wee minute. We'll go to the first song of the day. So we're going to kick off the first song of 2022 with a track. It's one of the tracks from my album Rebs for Hope. It was released there last year, so it was. And it's from the great Marty Healy from Derry. His version of the Burning Bees Wings with us. So again, Ronan McDonald, cheers for getting this sorted and learned it on the CD. You're a gentleman, mate. So here we go. This is Marty Healy, folks, with Bees Wing, the very first tune on the Rebel podcast, Rebel Sundays of 2022. Here we go.
I was 19 when I came to town. They called it summer love. We were burning babies, burning flags, the hawks against the dove. I took a job at the steamy turning Caldron Street. And I fell in love with the laundry girl, she was working next to me. Brown hair zigzagged around her face and a look of half surprise, like a fox caught in the headlights, the animal in her race. She said to me, oh can't you see, I'm not the factory kind, and if you don't take me out of here, I'll lose my mind. She was a rare thing, as fine as a bee's wing, so fine a breath of wind might blow her away. She was a lost child, she was running wild. She said, as long as there's no place in love, I'll stay. You wouldn't want me any other way. Well, we bust around the market town for picking down in Kent, and we could take your lamps and pots and names wherever we went. We were camping down in Garrow one time, and the work was pretty good. She wouldn't wait for the harvest, and he thought we should. Then he said to her, we'll settle down and get a few acres dug, the fire burning in her hearth and babies on the rug. She said, oh man, you foolish man, that surely sounds like hell. You may be lord of half the world, you'll not own me as well. She was a rare thing, as fine as a bee's wing, so fine a breath of wind might blow her away. She was a lost child, she was running wild. She said, as long as there's no price in love, I'll stay. You wouldn't want me any other way. We were drinking more in those days, and tempers reached the pitch. Like a fool I let her run away when she took around the ditch. And the last they heard, she's living rough, way back in the Derby beat. White horse in her hip pocket, and a wolf laid at her feet. And they say she even married once to a man named Romany Brown. Even a gypsy caravan was too much settled and down. And they say your flyer is fading now, hard weather and hard booze. Maybe that's the price you pay for the change that you refuse. She was a rare thing, so fine as a bee's wing, so fine a breath of wind might blow her away. She was a lost child, she was running wild. She said, as long as there's no place in love, I'll stay. You wouldn't want me any other way. She was a rare thing, as fine as a bee's wing. I miss her more than ever words can say. If I could just taste some of her wildness now, if I could hold her in my arms today, I would.
So Marty Healy, our folks feels with a Bee's Wing. Fantastic tones of Marty here, absolutely brilliant tune there. And that's one of the tracks on my album, folks, released last year in suicide awareness and suicide prevention in Belfast, for North Belfast and West Belfast. It was an album called Rebs for Hope. So there's still some for sale on my Big Cartel website, folks. If any of you haven't got one yet, you're more than welcome to go and purchase one. So it is. Now back to a few more comments here. Let's see, here we go. So listen on Facebook. Mark Reed, Troops, Happy New Year to you all. Christina is listening on YouTube. Martin Kane says, well, roads crack. Well, I'm back. Hope you all on the family had a great Christmas and New Year. Yeah, quiet one, mate, busy one, but and in some other ways than others. But yep, didn't do a lot, but it was just good to be off work. So it was, had a few gigs in there in between. So yep, all good, mate. James McMullen listening on Facebook. Johan, the birthday boy, there he is. Bless my birthday with Clover version of Georgian Pop. I haven't heard the I don't think there's a Clover recorded the version of Georgian Pop. I don't think so, Johan. But I'll get another version on. I thought you liked the Shebeen one, did you not? But listen, happy birthday today, Johan, big Swedish friend. Good to see you on, mate. James McMullen on Facebook is on. There he is, Spanners himself. Martin Heaney, afternoon. Oh, happy New Year, good man, Marty. Now Drain, yeah, sounds a bit different, Ru. Your sound's a bit different. What do you mean by it there? Is everybody else having any issue with the sound or something? Or what's going on? Let's see. Andy Killen says, Happy New Year, troops. Have a lovely, blessed, stay safe. Ronan McDonald there, how you doing, Ronan? Great to have the show back, getting me through this shift, working from the house. Oh, Jesus Christ, you're working from the house, mate. It's not like you're out somewhere. So Marty says, any chance of playing Clover, No Criminal in Me, or Chris Carney singing Ray McCrash, or any song by Justice? Well, we played Justice at the start of the show, or so we did, with Lullaby to Heaven. So we'll get a few more comments after this next tune. Folks will say any requests. We're on today until 4 o'clock live on the air. Get them on, and we'll get them on for you. Get them, as you can see the wee bar down here. It says if you want to get a request on, if you're listening on Facebook and YouTube or Twitter, just pop it in the wee request bar or in the comment section, and I'll get it on for you if I can. And don't forget, we're going to have Damian Quinn live on the show, live on the screen, folks. I done a wee test with him earlier on there, and fingers crossed it was all working okay. So hopefully we'll have Damian on the show. But half 2, we're going to play 3 of Damian's songs as well. So here's the next song for you, folks. And this is from a band who we're going to have live on the show, not next week, but the week after. They're called Finnan Rebs from Crossmaglen, South Armagh, band of country, as is all I like to call it, or it's so well known. So yeah, John from the Finnan band is going to be live on the show in a couple of weeks for us. So not next Sunday, the Sunday after. So this is from their album. So this, folks, Patriotic Flame. And it's probably the only song we can do from it. It's the first track on the album. And it's The Fighting Men of Crossmaglen, folks, and Rebel Sundays. Here we go.
In Crossmaglen, the fire burns through. The patriotic flame will never die. And when you hear the battle cry, it will be those fighting men from Crossmaglen. I'll sing a song of the bravest men, a famous fighting unit from Armagh. They are the men from Crossmaglen, among the bravest Ireland's ever saw. In Crossmaglen, the fire burns through, the patriotic flame will never die. And when you hear the battle cry, it will be those fighting men from Crossmaglen. At night you hear Bezzica's roar, armour lights are heard across the land. The IRA, their spirits soar, they know the reckoning has come to hand. In Crossmaglen, the fire burns through, the patriotic flame will never die. And when you hear the battle cry, it will be those fighting men from Crossmaglen.
fish scum. Oh, did they fear they never again will see their cushioned shore? Because they know that they'll be there, they're all believing higher than bloody score. In Crossmaglen, the fire burns through, patriotic flame will never die. And when you hear the battle cry, it will be those fighting men from Crossmaglen. We'll not give up until we're free, until Ireland's out of British hands. We'll never rest until we see Britannia's rule driven from our land. In Crossmaglen, the fire burns through, the patriotic flame will never die. And when you hear the battle cry, it will be those fighting men from Crossmaglen. In Crossmaglen, the fire burns through, patriotic flame will never die. And when you hear the battle cry, it will be those fighting men from Crossmaglen. Yes, it will be those fighting men from Crossmaglen.
There we go, folks. Sounder of Finn and Rebs are here from Crossmaglen in South Armagh with the fighting men of Crossmaglen. So, obviously, I've seen a few comments here coming through about the sound issues. My apologies, folks. I think Carl Ann is right there. Says it hasn't been used for weeks. It hasn't. First show back. So I think the problem there is I'm playing some songs from Spotify, and obviously that one there I just played there was from Spotify. So it was, and the sound from the Spotify tablet I have, it's a wee bit lower than the other tracks. So I'm trying to actually keep the volumes a bit sort of balanced, hopefully. So I'll just turn the mic up. So somebody, Marty, had said that the mic was a bit high and the mic was a bit low and the music was a wee bit too high. So what I'll do, I'll go and play another song here. This is from the main laptop, so I'll try and not make this one too high. So we'll try this one. Let me know, folks, how this here one sounds. If it's not too loud, and just also the microphone. Let me know the microphone's coming across loud and clear, nice, and I'll hear it hopefully. So this one is for Big Johan, the Swedish Provo, who's celebrating today his birthday over in Stockholm in Sweden. So happy birthday, Johan, from all your friends here over in West Belfast and all the rest on the show as well. So we'll go to this one here. He was looking for George and Pop from Kelly's Man. So say hopefully this one here now has settled out the volume properly, and we'll I'll get us on for the rest of the show. Right? So Johan, this one's especially for you, mate. Kelly's Man, George and Pop on your birthday this afternoon. Here we go.
On the slopes of the Craigan, one morning in May, 4 lads left their base with hearts young and gay.
Their cause was for freedom, a cause long denied. And the foreign oppressor they went to defy.
While patrolling our streets, they met with the foe. With the guns at the ready, the lads had to go. So we raised up our hands and we'll curse that British land who torment the very hearts of men who dare to cross their paths. But my heart is broken in two. Won't you tell me what to do? They couldn't stop our George and Pop, but not stop me and you.
For the police, it went silent when the shooting died down. Two young lads lay there dead on the streets of our town. Just another 2 days lost for the ongoing fight. And the Derry we mourn on that faithful night.
So we rest upon our hearts and we cross that British line. Roots ornament the very hearts of men who jet across their path. But my heart is broken too. Oh, won't you tell me what to do? We couldn't stop our George and Pop, and they'll not stop me and you.
Hey Georgie and Paul, they're like cold as stone. They're fighting for Derry, their own native home.
Several moments we remember, and don't you ever forget, we were fighting for Jerry and we wasn't there. Let's hear ya!
So we will
The jets across their paths, but my heart is broken too. Won't you tell me what to do? We couldn't stop our George and Pop, and they'll not stop me and you. So we'll raise up our hands and we'll curse our British land. Who's ornament the very hearts of men who dare to cross their paths. But my heart is broken too. Oh, won't you tell me what to do? They come and stop our George and Pop, and they'll not stop me and you. Thank you.
There we go. That was sort of Kelly's name, George and Pop, folks. So, but I think I'll have the music issue sorted now with the volume. So hopefully the mic is a bit. Maybe just have the mic up a wee bit too high. As I said, haven't done this in a few weeks, folks. So it just takes me a bit of use to getting back into the use of. I have so many knobs and buttons down here in front of me, folks. You would understand, seriously. I'll actually take a picture of it later on and show you. So well, because I don't think you believe me. There's so much trying things to keep volumes, levels, and they're all the same. So it's coming out, and obviously I can't hear what's going out like on your end. I can only hear what sounds like in my headphones. And my headphones, it sounds okay, you know. But listen, as I said, there was for Big Johan, the Swedish Provo, who listened over in Stockholm today on his birthday. So Johan, this one is spicy. We'll go to this one. Let's see y'all sing along with Big Johan, folks, this afternoon.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, happy birthday. Happy birthday to you.
There you go, Johan. Where would you get it? Seriously, you're treated like royalty here in this show, so you are. So happy birthday, mate, alright? Let's see, can I have more knobs if you're in Ibrox? Right, so let's see. Folks, you may have seen me here, so I'll put a few wee adverts up, obviously in between talking and in between the songs. So we'll be pumping this one, as you're well aware, over the next few weeks before we're into March. So, as you may have seen before we finished up for Christmas, we'll announce these here 2 gigs here. So, I'll just turn these wee banners off the bottom here. So myself, along with Clover, Krista Coyle and Kathy Carter, are going to be doing like a wee sort of mini tour up between Scotland and the UK. So this is the first gig here, folks, you can see. So it's called Northmen, Southmen on Tour 2022. Glasgow is the first gig, so it's going to be on Friday, the 4th of March, folks, at Malone's in Glasgow, featuring Clover, brilliant 4-piece live rebel band. You all know of them, and with the big fans gathering. Then myself, I'll be DJing before and after, and then support coming from the brilliant Krista Coyle. Krista is very much a Derry native, but she's been living in Glasgow now for a good few years. So she has, so that airs on Friday the 4th of March at Malone's. And the very next night, we're going to be travelling up the road to Liverpool, to this one at the Liverpool Irish Centre, again featuring Clover, the 4-piece live rebel band, myself, Roe, and then support this time comes from local rebel and folk singer from Liverpool, Kathy Carter, folks. So I'm just going to put actually in the link now. So if you're watching in the comments section on Facebook and YouTube, you should see me posting up a link to the tickets. So one there says Glasgow tickets link, and the other one says Liverpool tickets link. Folks, so the tickets are £15 each, so they are for each gig. And the Glasgow one is flying out, so there's really looking forward to getting over to Glasgow for that one. So if anyone's over in Liverpool or in England, you just want to jump and see myself or Clover or Kathy Carter or Krista, it's going to be a great gig, folks, on both them nights, Friday the 4th and Saturday the 5th, or Northmen, Southmen mini tour 2022. So that's coming up in March, folks, this year. Obviously March, so it's not next month, the month after, but I'm really looking forward to getting on tour with the guys. So if any do want to buy tickets, folks, the link there is in the comment section, so please do get a ticket. We're hoping that both gigs are going to sell out. So right, back to a few comments here. Here we go. Let's see. I know I missed a few away. The last couple of songs were on there. So Peter O'Connor is listening from Limerick, so he is. Brian Taggart is watching in from on Facebook today, so he is. Carla McCrory, let's see, is watching on YouTube. Henry McKenna is watching on YouTube. Mick McAdam, listening to them on Facebook from Banbury in Oxfordshire. Derek Delaney, Dale, what's the crack? Listening from YouTube today. Martin, what's that there pronounced there? I'm not going to try and pronounce that, mate. All the best, 22 from Donegal. Tyrone Exile on Angalisi. Any chance of Ballad of Daco? Martin Dockery. Dave Sinclair is watching today on Facebook. Martin Heaney says your voice is a wee bit tinny. Is it okay now, Marty? See, I just turned the volume down there on the mic, so I did. So hopefully it's coming through a wee bit better now. With a bit of luck, so it is. So let's see. Proven Milner is watching. Let's see. Eamon Bradley, listen to the Tomb there up in South Derry. Kevin Dunn is watching on YouTube. There's James Devon McClave. What's the crack, James? Good to see you on. Happy New Year, you and the family, mucker. Christina Elliott is watching today on Facebook. Arthur McMullen as well. McMillan on Facebook. Kathy Cardwell has says, hi, could you please play Marcella? It's my mum's heavenly birthday. From Maureen Cardwell, thank you. Yes, Kathy, I will definitely get that on for you and yourself and the rest of the family this afternoon, not a problem. There's Celine. What's the crack, Celine? Good afternoon, everyone. Happy New Year to you all. Who else do I want here now? Let's see. So Stevie says, well, Marty, what are you getting for dinner today? So Lane isn't in, she's in the hospital. So Marty's got the fan for himself this afternoon. So what's he on? Ribs, spuds and veg from the other day. Elaine's better fed than me, sitting there with a big roast dinner. But here, I don't know. There's a lot. When Laura was in there having the baby, she was sending me pictures of some of the food she was getting. I'm telling you, Jesus Christ, I wouldn't fancy that at all. James Corbett is watching on Facebook. Happy New Year, big man. Yes, Happy New Year to yourself. Beaver says, looking to buy a ticket for the Glasgow gig, not working when I click the link. Well, listen, Peter O'Connell, do me a favour, would you? Could you post up a link there for both of the gigs? I'm not sure why that's working when you're trying to get a ticket there. So yeah, Peter, do me a favour. Can you post up a link to both the tickets for the Glasgow and Liverpool gigs if you can, please? There's Kayla Kelly. What's cracked? Cara is watching on YouTube. Says Tipperary, so far away. Let's see who else we'll have on. That link doesn't like you, Beaver. Yes, try it as well. It won't open. Right, okay, right. That's if it's not working, right. My apologies. I'm going to try and we'll get a better link put in the comments section as well. So, but listen, the link is there. It's on my pages and on the podcast page. So, if you are on Facebook, just go onto the Rebel Podcast Facebook page or Clover's page, and the links for all the tickets are definitely there for both gigs. So don't worry, they are there. But I'll try and get the link posted up for them in a wee minute. So, but here's the next tune of the day, folks. And again, any of your questions you have, get them on in the comments, and I'll get them on. We're here at 4 o'clock today, and don't worry, Damian Quinn is going to be on the show live for us at 2:30 this afternoon. So here's a track here from a man from Glen Ravel and County Antrim up in the Glens of Antrim. Marty Higgins, great friend of the show, great friend of mine as well. It's a brilliant tune, recorded, written by Robin Dunwoody. Marty recorded it there a good few years ago. It's called Plastic Bullets. All about two young girls from Landune here in West Belfast, Caroline Kelly and Julie Livingstone. Two children, that's all they were, who were murdered by the British Army with plastic bullets. So this song basically highlights their two lives plus the lives of everybody else that's been murdered in Ireland here by plastic bullets. Here we go. This is Rebel Sundays, folks, with Marty Higgins and Plastic Bullets.
In 1973, the British Army introduced a non-lethal projectile into the north of Ireland. 17 people have now been murdered by this non-lethal projectile, 7 of whom are innocent children. Robin Dunwoody has wrote this song in memory of 2 of the young children who were murdered when returning from the shops with groceries for their family, friends and neighbours. No British soldier or organisation has ever been charged with the brutal murder of these 2 young children. Caroline Kelly, 12 years of age. Julie Livingstone, 14 years of age.
On Belfast streets, I've heard it said, they're shooting little children dead. Taking lives hardly begun. Plastic bullets from their guns. We won't be kept down easy. We will not be still. We won't be kept down easy. After all, you're maimed and killed. Young Caroline, 12 years of age, shut down by Brits in a bloody rage. Julie Livingstone as well fell victim to their plastic hell. We won't be kept down easy. We will not be still. We won't be kept down easy. After all, you're maimed and killed. They tried to drag us from our streets by taking lives too young and sweet. Do they not know will not be beat? Their violence is their own defeat. We won't be kept down easy. We will not be still. We won't be kept down easy. After all, you're maimed and killed.
Is that on?
Try to make us toe their line by using every type of crime. But freedom won't be terrorized, nor freedom struggle criminalized. We won't be kept down. Won't be kept down easy. We will not be still. We won't be kept down easy. After all, you're maimed and killed. We won't be kept down easy. We will not be still. We won't be kept down easy. After all, you're maimed and killed. After all, you're maimed and killed.
Yeah, sort of Marty Higgins there here with plastic bullets in memory of specifically of Caroline Kelly and Julie Livingstone here from West Belfast, who were murdered by the British Army with a plastic bullets. And of course, all the rest of the people who were killed in the north here were plastic bullets unjustifiably by the Brits. Right, it's one. So Marty basically says, so I'm trying this comment here. So he basically says, Ro, your singing is terrible. I don't know how you can hear me. Was it the mic volume was turned down? So it is. So I don't know how it's something is picking up. So it is. It's strange. I don't know what the hell is what is picking me up, because the mic is definitely turned down. So there's something is picking up the sound of me singing apparently. So it is. But I'll have to just keep quiet then. So well. But obviously them what I've done there. Ro, we can hear every sound you're making during the songs. I don't know what is going on there then. That's strange. Something is obviously is going on there, so it is. I don't know what the hell it is. I may just have to turn the gain down completely or something. So say folks, trial and error. My apologies. Say first show back. I'm just getting used to back to all these knobs and buttons and all. Your mic is hissing in the background. You can hear something in the background, can you? Great singing by Ro. Jesus Christ. I honestly don't know how something is picking me up here, so it is picking me up singing or doing something. I don't know what the hell it is. I'm just actually going to look at the settings here now. Hold on a second. Audio. Let's see. Speaker, mic. Right. I think that could be it now. Sing your heart out, Ro. Right, so I think that's what I had there. So all along I've had the mic on the wrong setting, so it did for some reason. So this is going to be a great show. This is the first one of 2022. Any new listeners are going to go, what the hell is this here shit here? This man doesn't know what he's doing at all. So he doesn't. So right, I think I have the mic now on the there. Mic, that's it. Perfect. You make sure you don't talk about anyone. Perfect. Right. I would honestly love to just start the show again, so would I. But listen, you're all regular listeners of the show, so you know the crack. So it'll be all sorted now for the next bit. What I just found it there, so I had the mic setting on the wrong settings. My apologies, folks. I dread to think how that bloody sounded for the first first 45 minutes of the show. It's better than last week's show. Well, of course it was, mate. Right. So yes, hopefully you just won't be able to hear me singing now during this next song, so because Oh Jesus, what an idiot! What a complete idiot! I feel now. Seriously, keep your lip, buddy. See, folks, it's just as well I have so much good people like yous. Everybody else say fuck this here's pile of shit and turn the show off. You're all staying true and listening in, so I can guarantee at least another 2 hours and 15 minutes of decent sound. So I'm sorry for the first 45 minutes. But I wish you all had told me. Roas here sounds shit. You may get something sorted. But see, that's what it was. I know what I've done now. I just had to make on the wrong setting. So, right, my apologies, folks. On to the next tune. On you go. Oh, Jesus. Laughing during Plastic Bullets was sad. Well, obviously, I wasn't laughing at the song. I was laughing at a comment I seen, Neil. So that's what it was. You need your own manual. I do. Celine, for the amount of bloody things I have plugged in here, I don't know how to work half of them. So here's the next tune for you, folks. This is a mom had on the show there about, was it in November sometimes? It was David Robbix. Had the privilege to play a gig with him in the Red Devil Bar there for Palestine there as well, late last year. So David was on the show, yep, done a cracking story. And we're going to do this song from him. It's a song he wrote called Up the Provost, all about the late great legendary Francis Hughes from South Derry, folks. So here we go. This is Up the Provost from David Robbix on Rebel Sundays. And my apologies about the sound again, folks. Hopefully get it sorted now for the next few tunes. Here we go.
He grew up on a farm in a troubled Irish land, under foreign rule and the British Crown's command. His father fought for Ireland 50 years before, but the Free State cut their losses and the English won the war. When internment without trial was the order of the day, when his brother was arrested and his friends were blown away, when he was beaten near to death, he decided come what may, he'd throw his lot in with the provost and he joined the IRA. In the occupied 6 counties, perhaps it never will be known, all the foreign soldiers in Armagh and Tyrone who decided to head back across the Irish Sea so they wouldn't have to meet the man from south of Derry. He never wavered in his battle for Irish liberty, and the Crown would soon regret the day they called him enemy. The Brits called it bandit country and it filled them all with fright. In the borderlands, he who walked the hills at night. Up the Provost, that's what he said. 3 little words that filled the British Crown with dread. With a rifle on his shoulder, a timer and a fuse. Long may we remember Commandante Francis Hughes. Long may we remember Commandante Francis Hughes. Once he was surrounded by the SAS. How he might escape was anybody's guess. In his boots and camouflage, he didn't miss a beat. He walked right past the soldiers and out into the street. Once he came upon a checkpoint, the soldier didn't want to die. He recognized our Francis and the soldier waved him by. He didn't want to find out if he could take what he could give. He knew there'd be a shootout and the soldier chose to live. Up the Provost, that's what he said. And from this farmer's son, better men had fled. With a rifle on his shoulder, a timer and a fuse. Long may we remember Commandante Francis Hughes. Long may we remember Commandante Francis Hughes. was the North's most wanted man, with his photo everywhere. But he eluded capture with his wit and dyed blonde hair. For 6 years he was active, 3 times as long as most. He became a legend, north to south and coast to coast. He came upon 2 soldiers out one night on patrol. They caught him in the firefight, and the bullets took their toll. Crawled off into the bushes, but they found him the next day. Grabbed him by his arms, and they carried him away. Up the Provost, that's what he said. With a shattered bone and a body full of lead, with a rifle on his shoulder, a timer and a fuse. Long may we remember Commandante Francis Hughes. Long may we remember Commandante Francis Hughes. They beat him and they tortured him, and they gave him 80 years. When they brought him to the H blocks, he was greeted there with cheers. He went right onto the blanket, and when the hunger strike began, he was the first to volunteer, along with Bobby Sands. He was an Irish soldier, that's how he did his time. He knew he was no criminal, occupation was the crime. Bobby Sands had passed beyond us, where Francis soon would be. And although he couldn't stand and he could barely see, up the Provost, that's what he said, as they carried him to hospital to lay in his deathbed, with a rifle on his shoulder, a timer and a fuse. Long may we remember Commandante Francis Hughes. Up the Provost, that's what he said, and soon there'd be another standing in his stead, with a rifle on his shoulder, a timer and a fuse. Long may we remember Commandante Francis Hughes. Long may we remember Commandante Francis Hughes.
There we go. Sound of David Ravix there with Up the Provost, Francis Hughes. Folks, you don't know, if you know me, you know what of a bloody perfectionist I am when it comes to things like this. I'm just so pissed off. The first bit of the show, I didn't realise that I had the wrong mic settings on. But I know you'll all forgive me. But I always go and listen to the show again on the Monday. So do Monday morning when we're heading out the road with her in the lorry. And I know tomorrow I'll be sitting going, oh, Jesus, that sounds so bad. How do them people have to listen to that there and listen to me singing in the background? Seriously. So anyway, it's all about a crack. So it is. So hopefully you've all still stayed and tuned in. So you have. Let's see. So a few requests here coming through. Davey says, any chance of playing Song Ireland? Yes, can get that on for you. Gary Sharvin was looking for The Streets of New York by the Wolf Tones. Let's see. Just a bit of crack here going on this here. So Paddy Graham, first time listener, first time tuning in. It is brilliant. Cheers to Kayla Kelly for putting me on to this. Not a problem, Paddy. Yes, we're here every single Sunday from 1 o'clock to 4 o'clock. Every 2 weeks we'll have a guest on, and then every other week it's just myself for the 3 hours, just the music. So today's guest, we're going to have Damian Quinn live on the show at about 2:30, so another half an hour or so. We're going to do an interview with Damian, talk about all his 35 years on the road, and also go play a few songs from his various different albums. So looking forward to that there, folks. Right, one thing I do want to announce here, let's see, get this off a second. If any of you are aware, there's a great show over in America, folks. It's on every single Monday night. It's called the Irish Music Cafe. And it's hosted by Paddy Johnson. You can see him there on the left hand side. So he's invited me on to his show tomorrow night. So he has. So I'm going to be live on his show from 9:30. So he's going to be playing a few songs from the album I released there last year, the Rebs for Hope album. So you can find this here on that there. It's irishmusiccafe.com. It's like an internet radio station, but he has a massive listenership. So he has. So really looking forward to this here. So the show starts at 9 o'clock to 11 o'clock, and it's Irish time here. So I'm going to be live on the air on a phone call with Paddy at about 9:30. So please tune in for that, folks. I've been trying to practice my West Belfast accent as slow as possible. So any American listeners can actually hear me and understand what I'm saying. Because I know some people actually have the subtitles on whenever they're watching this here on Facebook, because they just think, oh, I just talk far, far too fast. So they, which you're probably right. I know even some people in my own work go, will you slow down? Can't hear a word you're saying. Henry says, pull yourself together, Ro. Valerie says, yeah, we love you, Ro. Good, happy days, no problem. Billy Boy was looking, jackets green. Gary Ogan, friends. Haven't heard that there one. That version there now. Celine says, Ro, you okay? We're still here laughing. She is our. Jackie Duddy. I'm surprised you're only getting in there now at their Beavers, you are. Yes, but that will be on as usual. It is on most weeks, so it is. Right, so next one we're going to do, we'll do this here one for Celine. I know she loves a wee bit of Kathleen Largy, so she does. So this is Kathleen Largy in the flying column with A Sniper's Promise, folks, on Rebel Sundays. I hope you enjoy this one. Here we go.
Icy cold, I was alone, waiting for an army foot patrol. And then at last they came within my sights. I squeezed the trigger of my patrol had gone away and left their wounded comrade for me to slay. Oh mama, comfort me, for I know these awful things have got to be. The muzzle of my gun moved towards his brain. Oh mama, comfort me, for I know these awful things have got to be. And when the war on freedom has been Oh, mama.
we go. As Kathleen Largy in the flying column with Sniper's Promise. I forgot what they call that song there. Just had to look on the screen. Let's see. Billy Boyd says, "Sorry, you wrote Shebeen and Friends." Yes, mate. I knew that there. I remember I have that there version on my laptop here, but I had never heard the Gary Ogan Friends version. So I was like, sure, he doesn't mean Shebeen and Friends, but yep, I'll get that on next to you, mate. Not a problem. Valerie says, "Yeah, lovely song." Definitely is indeed. So Beaver says, "I'm so glad Vicky isn't in here." Beaver, you need to get her on here. If you're going to be on the show every week, she needs to know what she's getting herself in for. With you, I mean, like she says. So she wants to see the real Beaver. If she wants to see the real Dave, get her on this show and she'll see what a prick you are. Only slagging mate. Deirdre says, "Yeah, love that song, Ro." Yes, definitely is. It's a real tearjerker, so it is. Let's see. Kieran says, "Yep, happy birthday, Johan." Beaver says, she hasn't got YouTube. I will create one for her. Tell her to watch it on Facebook. She can watch it on Facebook, so she can. She doesn't need to have YouTube. You see, you just don't want her to be watching this. You don't, Dave. That's the problem. I know you're a crack. Let's see. So what are we going to do next, right? So we're going to do this one. We're going to rattle through a few more tunes here for you, and we're going to have Damian live on the show at 2:30. So we're going to play 3 songs from Damian Quinn today. And not a lot of the ones you might expect me playing. Believe it or not, I know Damian's famed for playing a lot of his more sort of upbeat and rowdier ones, but I'm going to pick 3 songs there that really sort of make Damian's sort of vocals and his guitar playing stand out. So I have you'll be praised to hear them 3 we're going to do for him. So he's going to be on the show at 2:30, folks. So please stay tuned this afternoon. Right, so this one is for Billy Boy, who was looking for Shebeen and Friends with Jackets Green. Who will go for you, mate? This is Rebel Sundays on the Rebel podcast with myself, Road, at 4 o'clock this afternoon.
Ready? Right. Well, tune in as well. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. When I was maiden fair and young, on the pleasant banks of the Lee, no bird that in the greenwood sung was half so blithe and free. My heart their beats with flying feet, no love sang me his queen. Tell down the glen rolled Sarsfield's men, having wore the jackets green. Young Donald sat on his gallant grey, like a king on a royal seat, and my heart left out on his regal way to worship at his feet. Oh love, had you come in those colours dressed, and would the soldiers mean? I'd have laid my head on your throbbing breast for the sake of your jacket green. Well, no hoarded wealth did my love own, the good sword that he bore, but I loved him for himself alone and the colours that he wore. For had he come in England's red to make me England's queen, I would roll the high green hills instead for the sake of the Irish green. When William stormed with shot and shell at the walls of Garryon, in the breach of death my Donald fell, and he sleeps near the treaty stone. That breach the foeman never crossed, while he swung his broadsword keen. But I do not weep my darling lost, for he fell in his jacket green. When Sarsfield sailed away I wept, as I heard the wild horn, I fell then dead as a man slept neath the fields of County Home, while Ireland held my own old west, no wild sea rolled between, till I would fold him to my breast on Roden's Irish green.
My soul has sobbed like the waves of woe that shattered tombstone break, for I buried me heart in his grave below, for his and for Ireland's sake. And I cry, make way.
Yeah, it's Aston Shabeen and Friends are here with Jackets Green. And a few people had said that it's a wee bit low at their song. See, the problem is there are folks, and anybody that sort of does this thing from my end of the studio way won't understand. It's that their song there is from Spotify, and obviously you have different musicians are recording stuff in different levels and all whatever, and it's going to be lower. There's nothing I can do with it. Or if I turn it up on the desk on my end, it's going to be really fuzzy and it'll sound bad. So all I can say is, whenever if you hear a song that sounds a bit low, maybe turn your tablet up or turn your TV up or turn your phone up. Obviously some songs are going to be louder than others, so that's all I can do. And apologies, folks, I can't do nothing about it. There are certain songs that say half my show will be played with songs from Spotify, and the other half will be played with songs from in the main hard drive myself. So obviously I can't have every single Rebel song going, especially all the newest releases, a lot of the older ones. I don't have them all. So the good thing with Spotify is they're there, I can use them, but some of the songs are going to be a wee bit lower, so my apologies. Let's see. Beaver says, where she's here now. So Vicky, very welcome along to Rebel Sundays on the Rebel Rel podcast. Just, you might see Dave now changing his tone towards some of the messages now that you're on. So I think Beaver, you should just stay true to yourself and the way you normally go, and then she might be out the door in 2 seconds. To be honest, she might be. Kevin O'Brien says, good afternoon from Dublin Row. Anything by the Irish Brigade? Yes, we normally keep the Irish Brigade stuff to the second half of the show, or maybe after the guest has been on, because anything, it's a disgrace, but anything we normally play by the Irish Brigade normally gets us cut off Facebook, and I don't want to start the stream again until after Damian's finished the interview, if you get me. So definitely will be some Irish Brigade on the second half of the show, don't worry. So Kevin, no problem. Any more requests, folks, let me know, get them on. Marcy, it says, looking for Shanley in the Unity squad. There's a change one now. Terrorist or Dreamer, if you can, by Bigmate for James Corbett. Let's see, any other requests? Right, so for Deirdre, was looking for a song from Marcella for her mother, whose anniversary occurs. Is it today or this weekend? Lovely, great Landon family is our, and as you know, we're sort of entwined with the family now since your brother Paul married my cousin Kathy. So there you go. So Deirdre, this one's spicy for you and spicy for your mother's anniversary. You're looking for a song from Marcella, and the version I'm going to play here, it's my friend Cara McCann. She's an absolutely phenomenal singer. She wouldn't do a lot of rebel stuff anymore. She's more in tune to doing like sort of funerals and weddings and all that. But she recorded a few songs on an album a good few years ago. It was Ernie a Flute Band's 25th anniversary CD. So she recorded this one song from Marcella, The Ballad Raid Farrell, and The Time Has Come. So this is what we're going to do today for you. This is Cara McCann, great friend of mine, great friend of the show. And for Deirdre, this one is for you and your mother, who's our anniversary. This is the brilliant song from Marcella on Rebel Sundays.
It doesn't seem quite so long ago, the last time that I saw you. Well, ain't it funny how the memories grow? It seems they always fall around you. They try to break you in a living hell. But your spirit couldn't rise again. But you dared to prove them wrong. And in death you tore away the chains to help the world hear freedom's song. But the heartache and pain linger on. They're still here, but so long since you've gone. But we're stronger now. You've showed us how freedom's fight can be won. I wish there was an easy road to choose to bring the heartache to an end. Easy roads are always sure to lose. I've seen it time and time again. If you could stand by me like yesterday, I'd find strength to carry on. So let your spirit shine along the way, and our day will surely come. Yet the heartache and pain linger on. They're still here, but so long since you've gone. But we're stronger now. You've showed us how freedom's fight can be won if we all stand as one.
There you go. So the Cara McCann there, folks, feels with a song from herself, especially for Deirdre at one on her mother's anniversary. So hopefully that there makes you feel a wee bit better today, Deirdre. Folks, you see me advertising, just putting the two wee things on the screen there over the last few songs. So I'm going to be doing another few gigs this year with Saoirse Promotions again. So cheers to Connor, Michael and Kate for bringing me on board with them. Really looking forward to getting a few more gigs this year. So the first one is going to be this one here. It's like a pre-St. Paddy's Day gig on Wednesday, the 16th of March. It's going to be in the Devonish Complex here in West Belfast with the King, the God himself, Gary Ogue. And then Stephen, folks, is going to be on before Gary. And I'll be doing a few tunes myself, Rebel DJ Rowe, and before the singers and after them and whatever in between. So really looking forward to the first gig of the year with Saoirse. So cheers to the lads for bringing me in. And then the very next night, I'm going to be travelling up to Free Derry for St. Patrick's Day itself. And it's going to be in the Derry City Sports and Social Club up there at the Brandywell. So it is, featuring Gary Ogue. And then the band we're going to have on the show in another 2 weeks' time, Finn and Rebs from Cross McGlen, Band of Country in South Armagh there. Then myself, Rebel DJ Rowe, I'll be doing a few tunes as well throughout the day, throughout the night. I'm not actually sure yet what times this gig is going to be. I think if you contact Saoirse, they'll have a better idea. And there's a chance as well there might be another gig that evening in Derry or surrounding area. So I might be playing that. So looking forward to that. So cheers again to Connor and Michael and Kate from Saoirse for bringing me on board this year. I'm really looking forward to getting another few gigs with you. And it's always great to get on stage with Gary Ogue whenever I can. So looking forward to them, folks. So I think of tickets for the one there are tenner. In the Devonish, and I'd say probably a tenner as well for the one in the Derry City Sports and Social Club. So get along there if you can. Be looking forward to that. See Deirdre says I'll be there for Gary Ogue. Ray Callahan says Ro, could you please play A Nation Once Again or Take It Down from the Mast? It's 100 years since the Dáil voted to accept the treaty. I think I was going to have Nation Once Again lined up at some stage this afternoon. So Ray, I'll get that on for you today at some stage. So so another 15 minutes, folks. We're going to have Damian on the show, but have to. Armagh Sniper. So somebody asked me to play the Armagh Martyrs. I'm going to get there one there next by Bobby Fields. Derek Delaney says, you doing any gigs in Dublin, Row? Well, this one here I'm going to be doing, Derek. I'm not going to be playing at it, so I'm not. But this is I'm going to be taking part in the Ballad Fest 3 at the City West Hotel in Dublin. That takes place on the, let's see, what date this here is on again. Just can't see the wee thing there. I'm going to get your comment out of the way. That takes place on Friday, May 27th and Saturday, the 28th of May this year. Hopefully all the restrictions will be gone by then. So there's going to be taking place at the City West Hotel in Dublin. I'm going to be hosting both nights, folks. So obviously all the bands, I'm going to be introducing them onto the stage. So we're going to be having Clover, Rick the Ices, the Rebel Hearts, Eamon McLaughlin's going to be playing, Derek Warfield and the Young Wolf Tones, Dreams of Freedom, the Foxy Devils, Gary Ogue with the full band, the Irish Brigade, Chris Carney and the Raising the Moon are going to be playing as well. So, yep, looking forward to that there. I will be there hosting both nights. So, cheers to Aidan for inviting me along that there. I'll be looking forward to that one. So, I think there is some tickets still available for that, folks. If you can get on to the PatterBrowns.com to get your tickets for that gig. Right, so what was I saying? See, talking of Karens, I seen a Karen mention. I met my very first Karen yesterday, right? So what is this here for a story, folks, right? And when they say about Karens, I don't know if her name was Karen or not, but you should always say, well, you're a Karen, definitely, for just being an arsehole. So I went into Lidl there down in West Belfast. It wasn't the big Lidl we get your loaf sliced. It was the wee Lidl down in Stewartstown Road. And I had Maeve with me in the car seat, so I put her in the van, right? So obviously I was coming out of Lidl and I had parked in a mother and baby spots with it, and obviously I'm not a mother, but I had a baby, and I parked the van in the mother and baby spot, and I was around the other side, obviously putting the baby back in the front seat, right, in the car seat, trying to get her tied in, so it was, or tied in with a seatbelt, and the girl obviously hadn't seen me, the pram, the far side, or me putting her in. This girl pulls up with like 3 kids in the car. Excuse me, all us here. I'm sick of you travellers parking in here. So obviously, straight away, she thought I was an Irish traveller. So it's just discrimination there straight away. Nothing wrong with Irish travellers. I have a lot of friends who are travellers, great people in the travelling community. This is for a mother and baby spot. Anyway, you're out of the park here. I says, well, for a start, thank you very much for abusing the Irish travellers. I says, I do have a baby. You can see the pram here. I'm putting the baby in the car seat. I'm not allowed to park in a space because of a van, whatever. And she just huffed off, whatever. So anyway, when I was in Lidl, I couldn't get the bloody thing I wanted. So I had to go up to a wee bakery up on the top of the Suffolk Road. So just as I was getting to the van, I went in the run to the bakery. And this woman who was parked in front of me in like a 4x4, I knew straight away, they were travellers, I mean. And she started swinging the window down. I was like, what's going on here? And so she tried to hand me two £20 notes. She was going, here, take them. I was like, sorry, what do you mean? She thought I was the guy that fitted her kitchen 3 weeks ago. No, you're the man who fitted my kitchen. I says, no. And so I put my mask down. He says, oh, it wasn't you. I says, no problem, thanks very much anyway. So there you go. This woman was blatantly trying to discriminate against Irish travellers down in Lidl, who's a real bitch, like. And this woman here, who obviously is an Irish traveller, trying to hand me 40 quid for such a good job I done with fitting her kitchen, which I didn't like. But you see, they aren't all bad people. I mean, they do get a bad name, so they do, from some people for just basically just being real arseholes, I have to say. Right, could listen to this all day. Do you mean the music, Francis, or my story about the Irish travellers and the Karen down outside the wee Lidl? Right, so what am I having up next? So somebody asked me to play the Armagh Martyrs. So Bobby Fields, who had on the show there last year, this is from his album called Armagh Martyrs, and this is the North Armagh Brigade. So it is. So hopefully whoever asked for this one is the right version. And I say this is from Spotify as well. So hopefully the volume isn't too low, and if it is low in this song, I'm sorry, there's nothing to do about it. I'll try to have it up as high as I can, but it's because I say different people record different levels. I mean, we're going to Spotify, it's not a great volume. So here we go. This is Bobby Fields, folks, with the North Armagh Brigade on Rebel Sundays till 4 o'clock this afternoon.
Here's to the volunteers who have fought for the North Armagh Brigade. Your daring deeds are well known around the country For you fought the Brits and the RUC and hated UDR. One night along the Kilhay Road, 2 UDR jeeps that drove. When the red light lit, oh, the mortars let rip and blew away to UDR. So up the RAF on North Armagh, oh, the bravest fighting men we know. One September night at the Mal Courthouse, they blew British justice away. Long the night to them, those brave fighting men, their comrades in Lancaster. Oh, they struck a blow for freedom when they blew the courthouse away. Drumcree 1 year and the Brits were here at the Shambles area. Along came the RA in a metro car, defending their people there. Oh, the Brits ran quick when the bullets let rip from the provost in the car. Here's to the volunteers who are fought for the North Armagh Brigade. Your daring deeds are well known around the country wide. For you fought the Brits and the RUC and they hated UDR. So up the RAF on North Armagh, oh, the bravest fighting men we know.
There we go. That's a Bobby Fields there for you with the I see it's Spotify playing the next song. That was the North Armagh Brigade for anyone listening there from North Armagh or Armagh or Lurgan or the rest of you. That one's special fusion today. That's from Bobby's album Armagh Martyrs, and you can find it on Spotify so you can. Mary Lisa, thank you from Kilkenny. Henry McKenna there says, Ro, she's seen that wee unit you built. She would have been for a shock. What unit do you mean? The wee unit I built? What are you on about? You taking the piss out of me building the IKEA furniture? Okay, right, no problem. See now, it's a bit slow on today, so Dahi, yes, I'm going to get that on, don't worry. It's going to be on this afternoon before the show finishes. Raymond Rooney says, yep, looking forward to Damian. Flying Column says, thanks, Ro, on the Bobby Fields. Right, so we're going to play 2 more songs here. We'll play this one, and then we're going to have the first of Damian's songs on today before we get him on the show. But first, I'm going to do this here. Obviously, he's heard me talking about the gig we're doing, the North Main, South Main tour. We're going to be doing over in Glasgow and Liverpool between myself and Clover. So this here is like a wee video I made up, folks, just to tell you who is all going to be obviously taking part, who the singers are, where the venues are, etc., etc. So I think Peter did put the link up there for the tickets. So Peter, if you're still listening, stick the wee link up again for the tickets for Glasgow and Liverpool while this here is on. Yeah, folks, we're really looking forward to it. If any of us are going to be going to the shows in Glasgow and Liverpool, it'd be great to see us over there. It's going to be on the 4th and 5th of March. So here we go. Right, let's see.
Oh, farewell to Balahi, likewise Hamlet and the green hills of Derry that I dearly love. All my thoughts return to you from my dark age block side. Old friends and brave comrades, I bid you farewell. Oh, for hundreds of years now, we've kept up the fight, and the history books told me of Ireland's plight. So with gallant France Irish youth thrill. The most feared men in Ulster, volunteers on the run. We gave England our answer from the barrels of our guns.
There you go, folks. That was Clover there, obviously in the background with their tune. Farewell to Blackey with Quiva singing, absolutely fantastic. That is on their latest album that released there last year, No Criminal in Me, all dedicated to the 40th anniversary of the Hunger Strikers. And yes, I need to get another song on for Marley, forget all about it. I'll go be getting Clover, No Criminal in Me on. So folks, yeah, tickets can be bought for both the gigs, for the Glasgow or Liverpool gigs at eventbrite.co.uk. So jump on there, and maybe Peter as well has put on the link for both tickets. There has been a few tickets sold while we were on there the day, so great. Here we go. Right, so here we go. We're going to do this here song here, and then after this one, we're going to do the very first tune of Damian's 3 songs there before we get him on the show. So this is for all yous Glaswegians over there. You're very fond of the Barlands. Somebody asked me to play Christy Moore earlier on, so we'll do this one. This is Christy Moore live at the Glasgow Barlands with the brilliant Viva La Quinta Brigada, folks, on Rebel Sundays. So after this one, we'll go have Damian Quinn on about 5 minutes time. So here we go.
And 10 years before I saw the light of morn, a comradeship of heroes was laid. From every corner of the world came sailing the 15th International Brigade. They came to stand beside the Spanish people to try and stem the rising fascist tide. Franco's allies were the powerful and wealthy. Frank Ryan's men came from the other side. Even the Olives were bleeding as the battle for Madrid thundered on. Truth and love against the force of evil, brotherhood against the fascist love. La Quinta Brigada, no pass around the pledge that made him fun. Adelante is the crier on the hillside. Let us remember them tonight. Bob Hillard was a Church of Ireland pastor. From Killarney across the Pyrenees he came. From there he came a brave young Christian brother. Side by side they fought and died in Spain. And Tommy Woods at 17 died in Cordova. But the Vienna he learned to hold the gun. From Dublin to the Via del Rio, where they fought and died beneath the Spanish sun. No pass around the pledge that made him fight. Adelante is the crier on the hillside. Let us remember them tonight. And the Irishman heard the call of Franco, joined Hitler and Mussolini too. A propaganda from the pulpit and newspaper had dug the field to gather up its crew. And the word came from the church support the Nazis. Men at last they failed again. The bishops blessed the blue shirts down in Galway as they sailed beneath the swastika to Spain. Viva la Quinta Brigada, no pass around the pledge that made him fight. Adelante is a crier on the hillside. Let us remember them tonight. And this song is a tribute to Frank Ryan, Fitz Conway and Vinnie Cody too. Peter Daly, Charlie Reagan and Hugh Bonner. So many died and but never few. Dan Danny Boyle, Liza Brown and Charlie Dundee. Big Thompson and Jim Streety from Short Strand. Jack Nelke, Tommy Penn and Frank Conroy. Jim Foley, Tony Fox and Dick Dundee. Viva la Quinta Brigada. No pass around the place with living fun. And the lefty is the crier of the hillside. Let us remember them tonight. Viva la Quinta Brigada. Let us remember them tonight.
Yeah, it's some of the brilliant Christy Moore folks with that Viva la Quinta Brigada live at the Glasgow Barrowlands. One place I've never ever been to. I'll have to try and get there for a gig one of these days. Ashamedly, to say I've never been there. So many great rebel bands have played and graced the stage of that place. Right, so we'll go, folks. We'll do this one live. After this first tune, we're going to have Damian Quinn live on the show. So this is the first of his three tracks. It's a great track written many years ago, all about the last letter written by Patrick Pearse. The song's called My Last Farewell. So it is, and say there's many songs could have picked from Damian to play, but I've picked three songs that I want to play. Basically, that let you hear his true qualities of his voice and of his playing guitar. Obviously, he's done a lot of sort of cheesier songs and party songs that are great, and everybody loves. But this show today, it's all about obviously bringing Damian on and showcasing his qualities as a musician. So it is. So this is Damian Quinn, folks, with My Last Farewell. And once this song is done, we're going to have Damian, hopefully, fingers crossed, with no issues, live on the show.
Dearest mother, I am writing just to say I won't be home. There's something that I have to do, and I must do alone. Then they took me and they put me in this lonely prison cell. Tonight my thoughts are with you as I say my last farewell. Won't you say goodbye to Margaret, Mary, Bridget and me Hall? I have no words to tell you how much I'll miss you all. Though I may not show it, you know I loved you well. So in my final letter, I will bid my last farewell. Dearest brother, won't you take good care of all the folks for me? Go home to Rathfarnham on the day they set you free. I was happy when you stood by me in all that we've been through. No one has ever had so true brothers such as you. Won't you say goodbye to Margaret, Mary, Bridget and me Hall? I have no words to tell you how much I'll miss you all. And though I may not show it, you know I loved you well. So in my final letter, I will bid my last farewell. Dearest mother, it's so very sad that now we have to part. To understand the reasons that troubled your poor heart. told you. Since I was a boy, it was my destiny to die to brave soldier, so that one day you'd be free. Won't you say goodbye to Margaret, Mary, Bridget, and me Hall? I have no words to tell you how much I miss you all. And though I may not show it, you know I left you well. So in my final letter, I will bid my last farewell.
There we go, folks. So Damian Quinn with My Last Farewell. So hopefully, Damian, can we hear you?
Yeah, I can hear you loud and clear, bro.
Good man, Damian. Glad to have you on the show. It's 2 seconds to just pull up here the wee quick questions I have for you on the other screen here. 2 seconds. Folks, yeah, we're joined on the show here today live by Damian Quinn, live from County Down this afternoon. So, Damian, let's say, so it's 35 years this year. You'll be on the road sort of singing songs, be it as a 2-piece, 3, 4-piece, or as a solo artist. So, obviously, 1987, it all started off for you with you and your late brother Desi. So, take it from there and sort of how did your whole journey into the music scene all start out?
I suppose all my life as a youngster, I was constantly listening to the Wolf Tones and the Barleycorn. So it was basically a house full of rebel music growing up in. And we first started off playing the accordion in the Wolf Tone accordion band in Uri, which our family eventually run the band up till it finished. So most of us played the accordion, between the accordion and the drums in the marching band. The whole family were involved. So anytime any relatives from England or America were home that called our house for the music, and we would be asked to put on a wee bit of a show as kids. So then my brother Desi learned the guitar, and then I would have watched him and learned from watching him. So then the both of us were playing guitars, you know. So we decided to go out as a 2-piece. Quite young, and we've done a bit of practice.
What age would you been there when you first started out, the 2 years?
Probably 17.
17, okay.
So we started out around that time, 17, 18. We're doing a couple of wee 2-piece, just middle of the road stuff. It wouldn't have been rebel music to start off with. Some venues were just looking a wee bit of dance music and sort of old style country and western or ballads or something like that. But it was rebel music that we wanted to be pursuing.
Into, yeah.
So we were offered a chance to support the Wolf Tones in Uri Town Hall. It was a function on. So we brought the other brother in to play bass guitar just to fill the stage up. And it went down absolutely fantastic. Some great gig, great reviews. A lot of people around Uri didn't know we played music. And that sort of, it was the talk of the Newry at that stage when they'd say us, calling us the Quinn family.
Yeah, the Quinn family, right.
So as gigs started coming in and we started getting into bigger venues, we took on a banjo player. Jerry had played for us for many, many years. So at that time, some venues were doing this a 3-piece, 2-piece, 4-piece, depending, I suppose, on what the pub was willing to pay.
Yeah, yeah.
Then eventually we remained as a 4-piece then. So everything took off from that.
So obviously, like back then, sort of the likes of the Wolf Tones, the Dubliners, Clancy Brothers, the Barleycorn, probably, and as well coming in that stage of the Irish Brigade, would probably been like the forefront of the sort of like the Irish rebel music scene. So what was it like sort of then as using as a band trying to sort of break out in the pub scene and get your names known? I mean, was it more or less all just Newry and around sort of Armagh, sort of South Armagh you were trying to at first? I mean, when would you have sort of trying to sort of branch out and get all over the place then, like?
We've done a lot of travelling around Ireland at that time. You know, we were a lot around County Monaghan. So we were South Armagh, Monaghan. And it was then that we eventually were asked to come over to Scotland to play. And once we went to Scotland, never looked back. There wasn't too many bands at that time in Scotland the way there is today. So a rebel band had come over from Ireland to play in Scotland. I think it was the first time I went over was 1988, 89 maybe. And just packed houses the whole time over there,
That was the old slow boat then, heading over to Glasgow. So there been.
Well, that was it. You had to go to Larne. Not something you would wish anybody on.
Tell me this here. I mean, see over your whole years travelling and going back and forth to Scotland or England. I take it firsthand that you would have had a lot of bother from the authorities, like from the cops and stuff, constantly getting searched and your stuff took off you. I mean, were you ever sort of like held up a lot of the times, and there's any gigs that you missed because of being held up by the police or whatever?
We always took 2 cars because there was 4 of us. We had no van at the time, so
Right.
the amount of equipment we had, it was always 2 cars. And Daisy drove 1 car, I drove the other. 2 going each car, But at around that time in the 80s, I would have been getting a lot of hassle from the security forces. I've been arrested a few times and suffered beatings at different checkpoints and stuff like that. So I was targeted on a daily basis. But I remember going to the gigs and the army, the soldiers, whatever you want to call them, if they stopped you on the way to a gig, they asked you to take all the equipment out of the car. And they'd search the car. Then they'd put it back in again. And then they'd say, we're going to do the search again. And it's just a matter of delaying you to the gig.
Yeah.
So the other boys would have been away on and set the gear up.
Right, okay, right.
They would have to perform as a 2-piece till I got there, which happened many a time. But I remember going to Scotland. We were always getting stopped coming off the boat. But I remember coming back from Scotland. We were sort of late for the boat at Stranraer, and Daisy was first. He was flying away on the car. I was coming behind him. The police asked for Daisy's license, and they just seen D. Quinn and just pulled him over and waved us on.
Right, so you thought it was you in originally? Right.
Yeah, we got onto the boat, and the boat took off. Daisy was left. Daisy and the other fellow was left behind.
So see, obviously the name Justice, you were originally known as Just Us, weren't you, when it first started?
It started off as Just Us. And then when it became All Rebel, we changed it to Justice.
Right, okay.
But some venues, one week, they would still be advertising as Just Us, and until eventually it weaned out,
So tell me this here. Obviously, sort of during the time of the Justice, you've recorded sort of several albums, and it's I think it's fantastic now to have the likes of Spotify. So it is, where and obviously you put there a few weeks ago your numbers, your downloading stuff you've had on Spotify. It's great to be able to put all these albums on for future listeners now, young ones coming in now. It's great. So it is. Obviously, I would sort of start the show now every week when we start off the new format. I always play the Justice version of Lullaby to Heaven during the countdown of the 5-minute countdown. And it's just every week, Damian, I would sit and be farting about it and listen to it. And there's something I've always missed every week. And you hear another volunteer's name, no mention in this here song. Do you think, obviously, doing this here every single week, is there a big responsibility on your shoulders, obviously as a Republican sort of balladeer sort of / entertainer, to constantly keep the names of these volunteers alive through your sets?
No, I think it's an honour to be able to commemorate the brave volunteers that give their lives for freedom through music, song and stories, And I've lost a lot of friends myself down through the years that were murdered by the SAS, the RUC, So it's a tribute to these people that give their lives for freedom. So, they'll always remembered in song. I know there's not a song wrote about every volunteer.
Yeah.
But it's also soothing for the family as well that our loved ones are commemorated through music and song. It also gives a bit of history maybe to the younger generation coming up about what this was all about and what sacrifices was made.
obviously on that there subject, I started off the interview there with your version of My Last Farewell, and say I think the reason I picked that version for there's loads of different versions people have sung it. It's definitely up there with, I'd say, my favourite songs as a story, like of an Irish sort of story. So it is. So I'm constantly sort of harping on to people about you, Damian, basically more or less saying like you're more than Belly on the Telly, you're more than Rebel Sundays. Like obviously they've been big, massive, successful songs for you. People love them, but I would like to say this interview today, I'd rather play a lot of your songs that sort of let people hear your sort of musical qualities out more so would. Well, the next that their song there, it's a beautiful song all about obviously Patrick Pearse's his last letter to his mother, so it is. Tell us this here, but Stephen, obviously like it's just you. Do you prefer sort of doing like maybe a set in the bar where it's just yourself and the guitar and your stomp box than be able to do the likes of these songs where they're maybe the slower ballads and stuff rather than all like the more like rowdier ones? Because I know like a lot of your people will travel to your gigs and it's a lot of Celtic fans and a lot of times a lot of people are very drunk and stuff and you might feel pressure you have to do all the livelier ones. But do you enjoy doing the likes of that sort of song, My Last Farewell?
Yeah, My Last Farewell would be my favourite song to sing. You know, and I would feel as happy sitting in a bar just doing ballads all night. You know,
yep.
Because you enjoy singing the ballads better. You know, and the likes of My Last Farewell, the Joe McDonald song for Marcella, stuff like that. You know, even the ballad of Pee Rooney, which was the last song that I wrote.
Yeah, I'm going to go to that one at the end of the show today. That's so obviously you talked earlier on this start of the interview about your brother Desi, Damian. Obviously he was a big part of the band from the start, and he passed away probably in real tragic circumstances. So tell us a wee bit about your brother and how he passed away.
Desi was out playing pool at our local Gaelic club one Thursday night, and he said to one of the boys, "We need to see this for a shot." He didn't get taken the shot; he just collapsed at the table, brain hemorrhage. You know, so he was 27 years of age, so young lad, you know. Just
out of the blue, nothing. He wasn't sick or anything, or like
or nothing. 27 years, and we were sort of. Our mother had only passed away a few weeks before it, at 58, so the wreaths were still on the grave when we had to go through the whole motions again, you know. So quite tragic at the time for my dad, you know. But Desi would have been the one that done all the talking at the gigs.
Right.
I was the lead vocalist, and Desi joined in on the choruses, and he would have sang.
He would have told the stories at the start about the songs, who the volunteers and stuff.
The one that done got all the crack, the jokes, and everything. So when Desi died, and we had to go back on stage after a few months, you know, we were looking at each other. What are we going to say?
Yeah.
Because he had done all that,
yeah,
and it was like starting out over again, having to learn to interact with the audience, you know. So, but he was a bit of a joker, Desi was, you know, he was a bit of a laugh, bit of crack, and a bit of a joker, you know, and loved winding people up, you know. So,
did you maybe take a break from the band at all after this happened? I mean, were you sort of straight back into it again, or I mean, how did that affect you?
After it happened, we were off the road for about 4 months.
Right. Okay.
And we had a big tribute night for Desi before we went back on stage up in what's called the Old Border, up at the border. So I think there was about 1,500 people at it. You know, they came from all over. People that had followed Justice down through the years, you know. So it was a big tribute night, and a lot of bands came and done a wee slot each, and that was we done 20 minutes that night as well. So that was our first night back. And then after that, we just went back on the road as a 3-piece.
Yeah. So I'm going to do another song now, Damian, the next one for you. And this is a track from an album you released like last year. You've done like 2 albums in the space of a couple of months of each other. This was obviously the album you released in dedication of the Hunger Strikers. The album was called The Song of the Lark. So we're going to play the actual song itself, the headline track from the album. So obviously the Song of the Lark. So tell me firstly about releasing this album and sort of such a momentous year for the 40th anniversary of the Hunger Strikes, and then a wee bit about this particular track and how it came about. So I remember when I interviewed before in Bundoran for the podcast, and then I had you on the phone last year, you had been saying you've been working on a song with Bobby Sands for years, and you kept going back to it after a couple of months if you're out after a night out and you come in. Is this the song here then? Is it that you were working on?
Yeah, well, it was the song, but I done a lot of changing till it when it came to put the music to it.
Right.
The song that I had been working on for years, it didn't fit into the music then. When I had no music to it. But then when it came to put the music in it, I ended up changing the words a lot, and it didn't actually compare much then eventually to what I had originally planned to write, you know. So I had to readjust to get it to fit into the music, you know. But it was something. The 40th anniversary of Hunger Strike, I thought it was just appropriate to release an album to commemorate the Hunger Strikers, because I think it was our modern day 1916.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
81 Hunger Strikes to that, you know. And it's probably what most people in modern day can relate to, of why they became involved in the struggle. It's probably the Hunger Strikes played a big part in people's choice to becoming part as an active Republican.
Yeah. So listen, I'm going to put you on mute here, Damian, then we'll come back to you after the song's finished. So, folks, so this is going to be Damian Quinn up next for you with his track that he wrote called "The Song of the Lark," and it was on his an album he released last year called "The Song of the Lark." So here we go. This is Damian Quinn, folks, with "The Song of the Lark."
Let us guide your spirit home. We'll fly beside you till your journey's done. We'll sing sweet melodies to thee. For young Bobby Sands and his comrades are free. Locked up in their cells with no natural light, tortured and beaten by day and by night. Wrapped up in a blanket in a cold edge black cell, these young Irish patriots were living in hell. So a protest was started for their 5 demands, a hunger for justice led by Bobby Sands. With his 9 brave companions they gave up their lives. The lark and the free bird are with them tonight. Let us guide your spirit home. We'll fly beside you till your journey's done. We'll sing sweet melodies to thee. For young Bobby Sands and his comrades are free. There's Hughes and O'Hara, Devine and there's Sands, Doherty and Lynch, McElwee made a stand. MacDonald and Hersand and Raymond McCreesh, until Ireland is free they will not rest in peace. No greater love than to lay down your life for your fellow comrades, a brave sacrifice. As years they rolled onwards, we'll think of these men. We salute you, brave comrades, till we meet again. Let us guide your spirit home. We'll fly beside you till your journey's done. We'll sing sweet melodies to thee. For young Bobby Sands and his comrades are free. Many years have passed by and their memories live on. Through young generations who'll sing you these songs of our true gallant heroes of the year 81, who took on the might of the Brits and they won. So come all you people, both gallant and true, remember these brave men who died then for you. They gave up their lives for you and for me. One Ireland, one island, united and free. Let us guide your spirit home. We'll fly beside you till your journey's done. We'll sing sweet melodies to thee.
Bobby Sands and his comrades are free. Let us guide your spirit home. We'll fly beside you till your journey's done. We'll sing sweet melodies to thee. For young Bobby Sands and his comrades are free. For young Bobby Sands and his comrades are free.
Look, folks, that's the sound of Damian Quinn there for you with the Song of the Lark from that's the title track from his album, The Song of the Lark. Damian, just looking there at that there on Spotify here, is it did Danny Devaney design? Did you say he designed the cover art for their album?
Yeah, I got in touch with Danny because I knew it was work and fabulous work that he had. So he had commissioned that for the 40th anniversary of Hunger Strike. So he offered it to me to put on the album cover, and I was delighted to have such a professional artist work like that on it. So it's a privilege to have it. It's a fair play to Danny.
Yeah, well, I had Danny on the show last year. He's a really good friend of my dad's, so I was privileged to have him up in the studio here. So like, Damian, now let's talk now about your connection to Celtic FC. Obviously, a big chunk of your sort of huge following worldwide is down to your sort of love for the club. You have written obviously several songs, sort of parody songs, including Nick Dambelli and Telly, Kieran Tierney. You also wrote a song about the legendary Caesar himself, Billy McNeil. Celtic's very first manager, Wally Mealy, was from your hometown of Newry. So he was sort of not too far from where you are first. So tell me this here, first about your love for the club, and then about expressing sort of this passion through song, obviously about the club, and then tell us, it's a bit of a loaded question, this one, so I sort of asked him first about when you first get into sort of sport in Celtic. Was it from like a real, like a young age? And obviously then about doing a lot of these songs, like the Kieran Tierney songs, the Billy McNeil one, obviously the Paddy McCourt song, and then where is it, like how far and wide has singing these Celtic songs brought you to? I know you've been to Las Vegas, you've been to Thailand, all over the place. So I mean, they say Celtic and the fans play a massive sort of chunk as supporters of yourself. So just tell us a wee bit about that. They're a part of your sort of like trade.
Yeah, well, just to start off with, Willie Mealy, yes, born in Newry, and we're involved in there's a group of us who got together here in Newry to fundraise for a statue of Willie Mealy in Newry. So it's the support we've had throughout the world in fundraising already for the statue. We've raised over £40,000. So the statue is going to start, and the guy from Tyrone is starting to design the statue this month, and it's going to take 10 months to be ready. So it's the following year we're going to have it unveiled in Newry. The council have given us a plot of land for the Willie Mealy statue. So it's great to see something like that coming to life, because down through the years, many people have, different groupings have said they were going to do a fundraiser.
Do something and never did, yeah.
So this one is on its final journey. And there's also going to be a dinner dance in Celtic Park in April. It's on a Friday night, and it's another fundraiser that's been organised from people in Scotland, with a lot of the Newry ones travelling over. But as regards to supporting Celtic, when we, as Justice, started going, I didn't support Celtic or didn't follow football as a young age, during the Troubles.
Yep.
And my life was taken up more with Justice, in the Rebel songs. But when we started to go to Scotland to do gigs, people over in Scotland started offering us tickets to go to the matches and stuff like that, and maybe booking us for the cup final day before the cup final or after the cup final. So that sort of introduced the whole Celtic connection. So that's the Justice days around the late 80s. So that's when we became more aware of what Celtic was about. And, so gradually then, after our connection with Scotland, we all started to, and more so probably after the ceasefires in 94, there was a lot of people that were involved in the struggle started, going to see Celtic, where beforehand they wouldn't have went to see Celtic. It's probably just they were obviously busy elsewhere, but it freed up time for a lot of people in Ireland. That Celtic was another thing that could start taking on to go away. It's a different probably way of life now then at that stage. But so we started going to Celtic games quite regular then. And because then I started writing a few Celtic songs, the following got bigger. And then I was getting the European games to sing in different countries.
What would have been the first one you done? The first Celtic song?
Way back in the day, we were just singing the likes of what everybody else was singing over and over, you know, Hail, Hail and stuff like that, you know. So it was only in the last couple of years that I actually started to write my own Celtic songs, you know. But probably the best part of it was with the European trips.
Yeah, yeah.
You know,
I think for me, there's a video there. I think it was when it was in Rome. So it was. There's a few videos there on YouTube of you playing over there. Obviously playing like the Hail Hail and the Rebel Sundays as well. And like, and there was a few gigs happening that night actually too around in the city. Like, but I mean, looked absolutely just bonkers. Like, phenomenal like trip to be part of.
There was about 600 in the venue, and there was probably another 2,000 outside trying to get in. So Rome was probably the highlight of all the European trips, you know.
Yeah, definitely. And even the result as well in that match, like, which was fantastic. So it was, probably one of the decent games in Cham had for the team. Like, so he did.
Great memories and great to have, you know. But even the Kieran Tierney song, it's coming close to the million views on YouTube as well.
Yep.
Even though he has left
the club and still
probably up there with one of the best songs that I've wrote.
Damon, it is. It's just so. I remember actually coming back to Bundoran a few years ago when you'd sort of first released it, like whatever, and it's like even then playing in the central bar, the crowd just going mad for it, and they knew every word of the song. So that like, I mean, but there was a few times like you stop singing and the whole crowd was just singing along to the words of it, like, and it was amazing. It's a brilliant wee tune, so it is.
It's even though he's left Celtic, it's still probably one of the most requested songs from the young people.
Yeah.
Well, shit,
well, that sort of moves us on to like the party bits. Sort of obviously. So I mentioned that you're sort of much more than Belly and Tally and Rebel Sundays, but we'll have to sort of talk about the song itself. So last year, your video from the Rock Bar of singing Rebel Sundays, it reached basically over 1 million views on YouTube, so it did. And for a song, and I have to say this here, for a song that sort of many in your own scene, sort of on the Rebel scene, whatever, sort of have described as like tacky, shite, a pile of pish. 1 million views, and obviously the many thousands of downloads on Spotify as well. It tells a very, very different story, Damian, about that song to us. So tell me, firstly, about where it all, the whole Rebel Sundays started, how it started, and then obviously about how this sort of song itself came about.
Yeah, well, at the start it was only myself and Jerry who was doing Rebel Sundays in the Rock Bar. You'd never heard of a Rebel Sunday anywhere, England, Ireland, Scotland. It was just the Rock Bar, Belfast Rebel Sunday. So it started off there, but for the two of us. And I thought to myself, God, I'll write a wee song just for the crowd that's in the Rock Bar. I didn't plan to write a song that would be sang worldwide. You know, it was a bit of fun, bit of crack writing that song. Because when I sang in the Rock Bar, in between the songs, when the crowd started singing, would have sung that bit, Damian Quinn hits the Queen.
Yeah.
J-O. So that was the crowd would have sung that to me during the breaks just to keep themselves amused. So that's where that line of the song came from, you know. And I says, well, sure, put it into the song. And Jerry Oak was singing a song as well that he had wrote.
The Jimmy Bryson one, wasn't it? He read.
It was, he says, F the flag. I don't know, you're not allowed to swear here.
No, that's I don't know if there was the one he read about Jimmy Bryson or the one that was about Willie Fraser. It was fuck your flag, and I think that's a Jimmy Bryson song he had read, so it was.
Line in the song. So the song originally was just, all along was just for a bit of crack among the few regulars. So never in a month of Sundays did I think that this song was going to be a signature tune for me. And every venue you go into now, people's all singing it. While you're here in Damian Quinn hits the Queen, they're constantly all singing it. You get away with singing that song 2 or 3 times in one.
Yeah. I think what something struck for me, and I think you maybe got a wee bit of abuse for this here online, was you were doing a gig in Bulgaria or something, was it? In a hotel in Bulgaria somewhere? And there was all these kids, literally kids up the front singing this song, like they were. And people were going, that's child abuse, and all them children are singing about this. And like you're going, that's fantastic. I mean, kids that age, and they're getting brought up, and they're singing Rebel Sundays, you know what I mean? Like, for me out there, it was just amazing to watch that. So it was like.
I heard a few people along the journey of gigs in Scotland and here and stuff like that, England, Scotland, you have parents telling you a different story about their child singing the song.
Yeah.
And one lady had said to me that the school teacher had sent for her to say, your son or daughter singing this song, do you mean to me? You know, right. Who's learning the child these songs, you know what I mean? So you get them wee stories.
I think I would play like Rebel Sundays myself all the time. Like no matter where I am, if I'm doing a wee Rebel set, I'll say I'll chant it and play it and see if anybody knows the song. And no matter where I am, it always surprises me. People, there's always maybe 3 or 4 in the crowd to go straight away, go and they're up and they're dancing. Even there, I was playing boxing night and the only alarms in Toonbridge. It's only in the bar, like, and I ended up playing most of the night was all Rebel stuff. And like literally, I stuck that song on, Damian, and like the whole bar was just dancing on the tables, going mad. Every single person in the place. And I was like, this is just nuts. Like, I mean, it's no matter where you go, people know this song now. Like, I mean, I think that's why it's had so many views on YouTube and stuff as it has. Like, it's brilliant. So
it made Jerry Oak famous.
Aye, his head's big enough, so it is, Jerry's. Just see on that there on the Rebel Sunday songs. Obviously, a few months ago, you released a dance mix of it, like a rave version. And I know now, even I played it, and a few people, some more people on the scene have says, "Fucking catch a grip, playing that there. What are you at and all shit and all blah blah, and what's he doing?" And I think you had sort of said it was you'd gained like a sort of massive young audience from doing your gigs in the what do you call it bar that down the falls you're doing the Monday night, the Laurel Leaf.
Yeah.
And you were saying a lot of Cross McLean ones and all of them coming in, they're all going mad, and is that how that song, the dance version, came about then from doing like the wee one-off version?
They were coming up to it and looking at that song Maniac. Is that what you call it?
Yeah, Mark McCabe, Maniac. Yeah.
So a lot of the young ones were coming up and they were looking at me to sing, which I didn't. I don't sing that song, you know. But that's when then they says, "Well, sure, why don't you do a version of Rebel Sunday in the same tempo, same style?" So it was more for a young crowd that be able to put on Spotify to let them listen to. You know, it's not something that I would be singing that version.
Yeah, it's just a bit of crack, like, so it was. And
I did. I got a lot of messages. People saying, "Class, love it." You know what I mean?
Yeah. Just see, obviously talking about young people there. Something I want to bring up. You released a song there, about young Noah Donahue. Damian, see that? I think this here is a cause very, very close to your heart. So it is. So tell me, I mean, obviously it's a travesty about what happened to that wee lad here, and hopefully his family do get justice eventually. Tell me how that song came about. Did Fiona approach you, or did you just feel you had to do something? And I mean, and just to highlight the travesty of what happened to this wee lad, or?
Well, I wanted to highlight the option, so I had messaged to see would it be okay if I was able to put it down in words, you know, try and highlight the case of Noah Donahue. So the song was actually using Fiona's own words in it when she said, "No answers, we have nothing." So that was the main line in the song. So again, I wanted to highlight and get the truth of what really happened, you know. And the song, absolutely, still I get lots of requests for people at the gigs where you sing the Noah Donahue song, you know. And it told the exact story of what happened, you know, as regards to the child going away on the bicycle for the day with his friends and not knowing, but for the family not knowing what happened. And there is answers there that are unanswered, you know. So anything that I was willing to do to highlight Noah Donahue's case. So,
you did, and it's definitely and just see here, and the people are putting up blue hearts nice there in the comment section. So there, obviously, Damian, anybody who sort of follows you on social media, will know how much you sort of love getting up around the mountains and hiking and stuff. And you put a few pictures up the other day up around the mountains there in the snow. You love a good dander, but obviously for a while that was all sort of put on hold for a while there. So it was, and after you're gigging as well, after you were involved in a pretty serious car accident last year, sure. I was actually playing the same gig that night up in Kinturk Hall, the Jared Glacken's gig. And I remember Marty Higgins coming up and saying to us, just heard from Damian, he's been in a bad crash, whatever. And you were like, what the fuck? And like, I texted you the next morning, you sent me pictures of your car, like, and I was like, how has he come out of this? Like, this accident, I mean, like, alive, whatever. So, I mean, tell me, like, what do you remember of that night that they're happening? And like, sort of, how are you now? I mean, are you sort of back the full fitness, like, and everything, whatever, or?
It was a scary experience. It was, I thought it was time up. You know, I just came around a corner and the car just careered off across the road. I was only doing 30 miles an hour, you know, so careered across the road and into another car. Oil on the road, oil spill. But at the time of the impact, I thought, this is it. I'm not getting out of this, you know, because I'd I broke my sternum, the airbag burst, and I couldn't breathe, couldn't get my breath, and my foot was dislocated. So, struggling to get breath, I thought, this is it. But lucky enough, somebody up there was looking down at me. But,
what was it? Did you see the other guy coming towards you? Was it a head-on collision, or like?
Yeah.
Jesus.
As soon as I came around the corner, the car skidded on the oil, and I careered over the first side of the road and head-on collision with another Jeep. I think it was the size of the car that I was driving that maybe saved me. It was a good height on it. You know, it's like an SUV. If it had been a small car, I don't think I would have come out of it.
Come out of it? Well, there we go. So thanks. So you're all on the main now. You're back the full fitness now then?
Saying that, my foot will never be the same again. You know, when I came down from the mountain the other day, it was painful, you know.
Yeah.
But I can live with that, you know. I mean, it's not something that's going to hinder me or stop me from going about my business. But I didn't think at the time when I was in cast that I would be back up mountains in such a short space of time, you know. So
well, you're getting there anyway, so you are. Yeah. Something I want to bring up as well, Damian. I don't know if this here thing is still happening, but you're going to be involved in an Irish ballad cruise thing, so you are. Is it happening in what's that happening in America or something? When's this going to be taking place?
Caribbean cruise a month today, 4 weeks, right. 6th of February. It's like an Irish rebel cruise, and it was Derek Warfield and the Young Wolf Tones that approached me because of the big social following that I have on Facebook.
Yeah.
Will you come on board and advertise for us, and we'll have you on board on the ship, you know. So it's my first time singing on a cruise. I always wanted to do a cruise. So a great opportunity, and many thanks to Derek Warfield for.
So where's it leaving from? Is it leaving from America or what?
Yeah, Fort Lauderdale. You have to fly to Fort Lauderdale outside Miami, and it's a 7-night cruise. And the likes of myself, all fucked up, which are one of my favorite bands, are on it. Derek Warfield and a few other artists, you know. So with the times that's in it, I wasn't too sure
what's going to happen in it, yeah.
You know, especially because you have to take COVID tests and stuff like that before it. But so far, I'm just 4 weeks away, so hopefully it's all.
Yeah, it's going to be some experience anyway, so we'll be singing on a cruise ship. So well.
28 degrees this time of year. Well, due a holiday by now.
Definitely, no. I just settle for Bundoran again this year if I can, just to get away. So so obviously we're talking now, Damian, about the here and now. So is there any major plans? What have you plans for maybe another live album, or I mean, what any big gigs you have coming up?
Well, just we're doing in the week before Paddy's Day. I'm back over in England, a full weekend schedule. A few gigs in London, Newcastle for the Tyneside CSC, and so that's in March. April, I'm back over in Scotland, and again, it's sort of hard to plan anything at the minute with restrictions. You know, still a lot of bars are unwilling to. Especially in Ireland, you know, there's a lot of bars still, if they can't pack a dance floor, they don't want to pay for a band or a singer.
Yep.
So it's hard. We'll just have to ride the storm here and just settle things down before we do any other plans, you know. But England and Scotland always be on the map for me, you know.
Yeah. So is there any plans that good to go? Obviously, I know that they have Marty Higgins does this thing over in Santa Pons over in the Dublin and stuff, and I think you were over before playing with the Charlie and the Boys, were you? I think the Celtic convention there or something.
We done the first Celtic convention there in Santa Pons. It was Harry Flynn from the Celtswell.
The Celtswell, yeah.
So I opened that festival. That was 2010, 2011, I think. Maybe 2011. So I opened that, and then Charlie and the boys were on. They were doing the gigs every night. And then
Was that on actually on the big stage on the
Yeah.
square?
Yeah,
That's we would go there most years, and like, it's usually all like tribute bands, ABBA and all. And it'd be mad to be able to go actually go and see a rebel night and like a rebel band playing that stage. Like, so it would be brilliant.
It was about 1,200 in the square at that time. So it's
Madness, what is?
madness,
Right, so we're going to go and do the last song now, Damian. Right, this one I want to talk. Let's obviously. This is a song that gets requested most weeks in the show. Have you mentioned there? It's the latest one you've done there, so it is. It's another original song written by yourself. I've sort of told you on yourself on a couple of occasions. I've said it in the show that for me, this is your hands down best work. So it is definitely. It's the Ballad of Pee Rooney. Obviously, this is a very emotional one for me. As he was a legendary West Belfast Republican. So he was a legendary volunteer. Obviously, I was privileged to play at Peter's Memorial Night in the Rock Bar a few years ago alongside two Tonys, in Spirit of Freedom. Obviously, I got to speak to some of his family, some of his comrades. They were telling me about some of the operations he was involved in, whatever, and stuff. And just what a guy he was, you know. So obviously, I would put him right up there, like with the likes of Francis Hughes, Mark McGuinness, The Dark, Bobby Story, obviously as a revolutionary Republican. So tell me a bit about this here song. I mean, did the family approach you? I mean, to write this here, or what was the background of it?
Yeah, I was singing down in Carnarford in a house sort of party, you know, when the pubs weren't allowed open during COVID. And it was his nephew that said to me, "Would you write a song for my uncle?" And so it took off from there. So I got a bit of information from some of PB's comrades about him. And I was able to put it into words, you know, into music. And a lot of people have said it to me that it's definitely up there with one of the best songs that I have written. It's the best song that I have written.
Definitely. I mean, it's very emotional listening to it. So I mean, even just listening to the words, about the stuff he was involved in, about just his whole life. It's a really, really, it's fair play to you. It's a brilliant track.
One of PB's closest comrades said that you nailed it. That the words in that song, that was just PP, you know, and what he did and the jobs, the operations he was involved in. So, but even people that didn't know PP and have heard the song, they said to me that that's up there with some of the best ballads that's out there at the minute, you know. So I'm just glad to keep his memory alive as well,
Yep.
and that people do like it. But when I played it here in the house, when I was putting the music to it, during lockdown I bought a bouzouki and I started playing it, and it has given me a new dimension to putting the music to songs.
Yes, definitely.
You know, because there's different chord structures on the bouzouki and different sound. I think it was down to the playing the bouzouki that I was able to come up with.
Had you played that before, or did you learn yourself it, or when did you start playing the bouzouki? Like,
during lockdown, I learned myself it. So I'm starting to play it. I haven't played it out in the gigs yet, but I play it regular in the house, and it gives new dimension to the ballads, you know.
well, definitely. I think even there, what that proves is like with Quiva from Clover coming on board. Obviously, you've seen yourself at the Big Fans Gathering gig, and her playing the bouzouki in some of the songs just adds a completely different sound to their set altogether. It does, like.
Yeah, no, it's great. So I'm just delighted that the family and the people in Belfast have taken the P.P. Rooney's song on, and people from further afield, you know.
Brilliant.
But
So
when I'm singing in Belfast, the Laura Leaf for the rocker, Nancy Mulligan, you're asked for it all the time.
yeah.
People-
So are you out tonight then, Damian? Are you?
I'm on at 6 o'clock on South Armagh in Toll's bar in Camlock. That's the village of Bryn McCrish. And then I'm on down to Nancy Mulligan's at 10 o'clock in Castle Street in Belfast.
Camlock, the worst place in Ireland for phone signal. So it is.
Oh, you
Seriously,
never-
it is weird.
Yeah. And about 2 or 3 mile each side of it.
Oh, it's brutal. So it's so listen, Damien, thanks very much for coming on today, mate. It's been a privilege and an honour having you on the show. And just glad we had no feedback this time. So great. So listen, Damien, enjoy your gigs tonight in Camlock and down in Nancy Mulligan as well. So now we're going to do Damien's latest song, folks. This is Damian Quinn with the ballad of P.P. Rooney, folks, so on Rebel Sunday. So thank you very much, Damian, for coming on today.
Thank you.
All right, mate. Cheers. Good luck. Thanks. Right, folks, yeah, there you go. So thanks very much to Damian for coming on. Say this is a track we'll play most weeks in the show, and we're going to dedicate this one here to James Devon McClave, who always asks for it. He loves this song, and it's a personal favourite of my own as well. So here we go. This is Damian Quinn, folks, with the ballad of Peter Peepy Rooney.
I'll tell to you the story of one of Ireland's bravest sons. His name is Peepy Rooney. In St. James's life begun. He was born into a conflict of oppression and of shame. So he took a stand for Ireland to break those English chains. So we'll sing of Peepy Rooney from St. James's by the Falls, that fearless fighting soldier for Ireland gave his all. No more we'll see your smiling face, that face that we all knew. You lived your life for freedom's fight and for Ireland's 32. He watched his brother Daniel die, murdered by the crown. Despite his fight for freedom, us crappies won't lie down. He joined a Fenna errand at 16 years of age, then soon became a volunteer in the Belfast Brigade. So we'll sing a Peepy Rooney from St. James's by the Falls, that fearless fighting soldier for Ireland gave his all. No more we'll see your smiling face, that face that we all knew. You lived your life for freedom's fight and for Ireland's 32. He was proud to give the gun salute when they honoured Bobby Sands, and again for Joe MacDonald with his rifle in his hand, beaten and arrested when that funeral was attacked. Did a sentence in the H blocks and then reported back. So we'll sing a Peepy Rooney from St. James's by the Falls, that fearless fighting soldier for Ireland gave his all. No more we'll see your smiling face, that face that we all knew. You lived your life for freedom's fight and for Ireland's 32. The fight for Irish freedom led him overseas to England and to Europe for Ireland's liberty. He was over in Gibraltar with his comrade Dan McCann, who was murdered with Mairead and Sean far from their native land. So we'll sing a P.P. Rooney from St. James's by the Falls, that fearless fighting soldier for Ireland gave his all. No more we'll see your smiling face, that face that we all knew. You lived your life for freedom's fight and for Ireland's 32. You lived your life for freedom's fight and for Ireland's 32.
There we go, fantastic there, folks. Damian Quinn with the ballad of Peter P.P. Rooney, folks, from legendary volunteer there from West Belfast. So thanks for all the lovely comments, folks. See us all flying through here. Could I please play North and South? Is that U2? You don't want to play U2 on the show, are you? Yeah, loads of comments coming through here, folks. Thanks very much. Yeah, and cheers to Damian for coming on. That all went really well today, I have to say, from the video, the sound and all the wee graphics that sort of put in for it. It all worked. One of the two. So going forward for 2022, that's a good saying, folks. So cheers. Thank you very much. See, Billy Boy says, Road, you have an upload of the 25th anniversary and anniversary CD. It's on YouTube, mate, so it is. But they're all single tracks. You can get them. So it is. If you just search for Ernie Flute Band, you'll see there's like a black screen with a green rating on the tracks. That there's the CD from the 25th anniversary. So yeah, they're all on that there. So yeah, folks, loads of great, lovely comments here. Thank you very much for Damian's interview, and cheers to Damian for coming on. Great way to start the year, so it was. Right, so we got another 35 minutes or so left to go for you today. So somebody asked me to play a bit of the Irish Brigade earlier on, and said, wait till we got Damian's interview out of the way. So here we go. This is from the Irish Brigade's album. It is live in Dublin. What one is it? Let's see. Live at the Sidewalk in Dublin, recorded a few years ago. Brilliant track for you Scottish ones out there. The Black Watch. So this is, I'll play the start of it. Actually, the bit where Jerry talks. Just love Jerry talking these songs. And I would play as much live music as possible, much live albums as possible. So here we go. This is the Irish Brigade from Live in the Sidewalk in Dublin with the Black Watch, folks, on Rebel Sundays. And again, if you're listening to the show, you're enjoying it, folks, drop us a wee tip or donation. It all does go to help to keeping the show going here on a Sunday. So it does say this many times, folks, but this show, to run this, is not cheap, so it isn't. All the software they do, obviously taking a day off work to run the show as well, it's sort of, you know what I mean. So it was alright to start, bit of crack, but it's a big thing now. So and I say, folks, with all your donations every week, thank you very much. All you do, there's regular ones, give me something every week. Thank you to all you, and you all know who you are. You're all legends. Everybody else who donates something, thank you very much. So if you can, folks, donate something. Let's see if I can just get this. There we go. There, right. See up there? You can scan your phone on that there, folks. If you're watching it on the TV, whatever, it'll bring you straight to PayPal. Or if you haven't got PayPal, you have Revolut or a bank transfer, just send me a wee PM, folks, and I'll sort you out the details. You can send me something through, like a lot of people do every week. So here we go. This is the Irish Brigade with the Black Watch, folks, on Rebel Sundays.
Another wee song we learned quite a number of years ago. We picked it up in Glasgow. So for all the folks over tonight, all our friends over from there tonight, a wee song called The Black Watch.
Heard about the beam and the cruel are you see. You've heard about the black ties and bygone mystery. But there's another regiment that's ever called his own. They're known as the Black Watch, commissioned by the throne. And it's rolling down the falls over wagons and gas, terrorizing women as they're coming out of mass. As sure as Scottish traitors we never will forget. Thank God we know the Irish sure aren't beaten yet. These soldiers soldiers come from Scotland, a place you all know well. The hardest parts of Glasgow, the teddy boys to dwell. They're giving a British uniform, they're giving a British gun. They join a British regiment to have themselves some fun. And it's rolling down the falls, oh, with red guns and gas, terrorising women as they're coming out of mass. As sure as Scottish traitors we never will forget. Thank God we know the Irish sure aren't beaten yet. When I grow up and marry and have a little son, I tell him about the regiment and the terrible things they done. And when he gets older and becomes a man like me, he'll become a volunteer and set Ireland free. And it's rolling down the falls of red guns and gas, terrorising women as they're coming out of mass. As sure as Scottish traitors we never will forget. Thank God we know the Irish are out and rolling down the falls with red guns and gas, terrorising women as they're coming out of mass. As sure as Scottish traitors we never will forget. Thank God we know the Irish sure aren't beaten yet. Thank God we know the Irish sure aren't beaten yet.
There we go. Son of the Irish Brigade. With George singing there, Bernard, I was live at the sidewalk in Dublin with the Black Watch, so it was. We briefly lost Facebook there, folks. You see, I told us as soon as we stick on an Irish Brigade song, Facebook knocks it off. But we've just jumped back straight on the Facebook again there now, so hopefully we'll get our listenership jumping. I can see it now, it's jumping back up again, so as I go. So yeah, folks. Hope you're all enjoying the show today, and have just briefly apologies again for the first. The first half hour or so when I hadn't got the right mic settings plugged in, and for anybody listening was probably going, what the fuck is this shit? It sounds terrible. It sounds like a pile of shite. This isn't what we're used to hearing from Roe. Crisp, clear, quality production. Not today, but folks, it was the first show back, so come on, you have to give me a bit of leeway. I know you all have, but Beaver says, yep, Zuckerberg is a dick. Well, what did he give us today? He gave us a good 2.5 hours, so we can't complain that much, so we can't. So Neil Costigan had asked me there about first 43 minutes. Well, there you go. He's being exact there. Cheers, Jim, for reminding us there. The first 43 minutes were shite today. So they were. Right, let's see. So yeah, so Neil Costigan was asking what station am I going to be on tomorrow night. So I'll give it out again. There's there. So I'm going to be on the Irish Music Cafe with Polly Johnson. It's a great show. I mean, it wouldn't be strictly all rebel stuff. He plays a lot of Irish folk stuff, a lot of Irish trad stuff, and a lot of rebel stuff. But a lot of the big artists that I would play on the show have all featured on the show. So I was privileged when Paddy asked me to come on as a guest on his show. So if you're in America, it's on between 4 o'clock and 6 o'clock p.m. And if you're in Ireland or England, whatever, it's on from 9 o'clock to 11 o'clock every Monday night. And it's on the irishmusiccafe.com, folks. So I appreciate it if a few of you can jump on and watch the show, maybe leave a few wee comments. And I say I've been practicing by doing like my trying to do a slow West Belfast accent so people in America, whoever, can actually understand me, so they can. Because I know I'll be on the night going, I think I'm talking to one of my mates, and Paddy will be going, slow down, man, slow down, I can't hear what the fuck you're saying. So let's see. So what the hell is this? James Damian says, Ro, can you play a crap song so we can all briefly leave the show and donate to the show, please? Thank you very much. But listen, I'm not going to play any crap songs on the show, so I forgot to say, come on. See, Peter O'Connell says, yeah, a great man, Polly Johnson, definitely is, mate. Let's see. There's Audrey. What's the crack, Audrey? How you doing? Happy New Year, Ro, from Dublin Girls. Great interview with Damian Quinn. Yes, it was indeed. Cheers for tuning in today. Michael Brand says, they're coming for you again, Ro. Well, they always are coming tomorrow. What can you do? They're arseholes. Right, any other comments there? It says, right, so we're going to do next. What do I have? Yeah, so for Marty Kane had asked me to play Clover, No Criminal in Me. This is the title track from their album, No Criminal in Me. And if any is were at the big fans gathering, you'd have seen Paul doing this one, and it got a great reception on the night. So it did. And just talking of the big fans gathering, folks, you may have seen me posting there on Facebook yesterday and Twitter and all the rest, and Instagram. So next year's folks one is going to be happening. And I don't want to say too much about it until we get the 2 gigs with Clover out of the way in March, because I feel right now that there's our main Marty says, even Westies can't understand you. Marty, listen, Nick, come on. You know you're a Westie at heart, but you're still an old culture from up the road, so you are. So let's that there, alright? So yeah, sort of, I want to leave it till we'll get the 2 gigs in March out of the way in Scotland and England before we really start pushing the big fans gathering. But all I can say, folks, is the venue is going to be changed from last year. So the venue was in last year. It's not going to be there. It's going to be in a much bigger venue in West Belfast. It's going to be in a hotel this time. So it is. So any of us who are you're going to be able to stay over this time. Go straight back in the bed. No taxis are going to be needed. All the acts have been booked and confirmed. So we're going to have 9. Basically 8 live Rebel acts plus myself. So that's 9. So it's going to be on the first night. It's going to be on Friday, the 2nd of December, and then the third. Saturday the 3rd of December, and then we're going to do the after party the next day in a legendary bar in West Belfast. I'm just waiting on confirmation the next couple of days that's going to happen, but that's going to be in a different bar. So it is for the actual live Rebel Sundays podcast on the 3rd day. So folks, all I can say is come March, as soon as we get the 2 gigs out of the way with Clover in Liverpool and in Glasgow, we're going to be all out pumping the big fans gathering 2022. The big Rebel weekend, which now it's going to be 3 days. I know you all cannot wait. You'll be very, very surprised when you see the lineup, folks, who we're going to have for this next one. So that's all I'm going to say about it for now. There's a man from Newfoundland, Lee Brockerville. We had Lee on the show last year. Good you have on today. Lee, Happy New Year. All the best. Lee, I'll get you a wee tune on your album on hopefully before we finish up today. Don't worry, mate. James Deb McClave says, looking forward to it. Highlight of the year, the big fans gathering. We will be there, the family and all. Happy days. Well, make sure your son gets your COVID passport this time and you'll be able to fly over instead of doing that fucking 8-hour bloody boat journey, mate, the last time. Absolutely nightmare. Right, here we go. This is for Marty Kane who asked this one. This is Clover with No Criminal and Me, folks, on Rebel Sundays.
I dreamt I met a man named Bobby Sands from Belfast. He told me of his childhood and his youth. In the back streets of Twinbrook he played from morning till night. He assumed no hate on others, that's the truth. He said, there's no criminal in me, all I long for is to see my country at peace and my people one and free. When I had life in me, I stood with dignity. I fought the strangers till the moment that I died. The strangers came and I saw my people suffer, and the boy inside me, he soon became a man. I joined the volunteers and I swore to free my people, and for right or wrong I tried, I made my stand. You see that house there, that's the home of Joe MacDonald. We were sentenced 14 years in Longcash jail. But I have one last card to play for those strangers, and my mind is made to lead a hunger strike.
no criminal in me. All I long for is to see my country at peace and my people one and free. When I had life in me, I stood with dignity. I fought the strangers till the moment that I died. The strike, it took my life, and I remember that mattress on the ground to rest my head. This blanket as my shield, well, I stood proud and I stood tall. You see that mural there, it says Bobby Sands, that's me upon the wall. He said, there's no criminal in me, all I long for is to see my country at peace and my people one and free. When I had life in me, I stood with dignity. I fought the stranger till the moment that I died. I fought the stranger till the moment that I died. I fought the stranger till the moment that I died. I fought the stranger till the moment that I died.
There we go. So the Clover there, folks. You have No Criminal in Me. That's the title track from their album they released last year in memory of the 40th anniversary of the hunger strikes. So get on it. There's still copies there you can buy. Contact Clover's Facebook page if you want to get a copy of that there, folks. Let's see. Bully Boy says, Ro was probably wondering what the fuck. Yeah, I'm just looking at these comments here, but mate, see now, it just goes over my head, so it does, blows over. So it does, so a lot of the conversations that I see some people having on these things. Let's see, Kathy Carwell says, brilliant music today, thank you very much, Kathy, for tuning in today, much appreciated. Let's see, Sammy Marshall says that you must have, they were great gigs every weekend. Let's see, where else we have here. Beaver Snatcher says, going to slow down the partying in October so my heart doesn't explode again. Yes, mate, listen, you might go the way of Hugo, or she might. Let's see, there's Paddy McBride. What's a crack, Paddy? Great show. Ro, thank you very much, Paddy. Much appreciated. Listen here, just as well, Paddy, got a wee gig up your neck of the woods you might want to head to on Easter Sunday. This hasn't been advertised, folks, yet, but I think it will be getting advertised this week. So I'm going to be playing in Crossmaglen. So I am on Easter Sunday night, folks, and I think it's a hotel there alongside Finnan Rebs. So cheers to the lads, John, the lads from Finnan, who have asked me to play with them. We're going to be playing there on Easter Sunday night in Crossmaglen, folks, are in South Armagh. Really looking forward to that there. So I think they're going to be sticking a poster out for that this week. So look out for that there. Looking forward to seeing all the people from Cope Bridge as well, because the Cope Bridge flute band's going to be over in Crossmaglen for that weekend. So I'll be looking forward to seeing all them and all the lads again. So yep. So that's going to be Easter Sunday night, folks, on at Crossmaglen. It's in a hotel. I'm sure there only is one hotel in Crossmaglen. So that's what the gig is going to be with myself and Finnan and maybe somebody else. I'm not sure, but so yep, looking forward to that there. So Gary Sharvin says, can I play an IRA song? Any particular IRA song you want to hear? Right, so we'll do this one here. This obviously 100 years ago this week, folks. Basically, it was when reluctantly the Michael Collins signed over the northern state to the Brits. And it's a big thing where people will take the side of Dev, some people will take the side of Michael Collins, and you go, well, listen, who was right, who was wrong? But all we can say is it's still 100 years ago that we were sold out to the Brits 100 years ago this week, folks. And so we're going to do this song here, the Wolf Tones Nation once again. Connor Roche just on us says, Rebel podcast blasting out in the Derry City club here now before Barry Davey and the Irish Brigade tonight. Cheers, Connor, and I'll see you all on St Patrick's Day at some stage. I don't know what time I'm going to be playing at, but cheers for having us on the TV today. So big shout out to everybody listening to this Derry City FC supporters club today in the Brandywell there. Fair play to us. Sammy Marshall says, Coatbridge Point and Flute Band everywhere we go. See, Derek says, if Gary Ogan, Victor for Carlan, Joe, Terry and Rob. Right, I'll see if I can dig it out for you. Right, here we go. This is A Nation Once Again by the Wolf Tones, folks, on the last 15-20 minutes of the day's show. Here we go.
When boyhood's fire was in my blood, I read of ancient free men, for Greece and Rome, who bravely stood, 300 men and free men. And there I prayed I yet might see her fetters rent in twain, and Ireland long a province be, a nation once again. A nation once again. A nation once again. And Ireland long a province be, a nation once again. It whispered to that freedom's ark and service high and holy would be prepared by feelings dark and fashioned vain or lowly. For freedom comes from God's right hand and needs a godly train, and righteous men must make our land a nation once again. A nation once again. A nation once again. And Ireland long a province be, a nation once again. And as I grew from boy to man, I bent me to that bidding, the spirit of each selfish plan with cruel passion ridding. But yet I hoped someday to aid. Oh, can such hope be vain, when my dear country will be made a nation once again. A nation once again. A nation once again. And Ireland long a province be, a nation once again. A nation once again. A nation once again. And Ireland long a province be, a nation once again.
Yep, some of the Wolf Tones are for you folks with A Nation Once Again. They say, somebody just pointed that was right. That song was officially rated the best song ever by the Radio 1 listeners. Don't know. Yeah, 100 years ago, or this past week, is the anniversary of the North. The 6 counties officially being handed over to the Brits. And say, folks, we haven't won yet, but we're getting there as we are. So that's all we can say. The loyalist state, as it is at the minute, it's crumbling before our very eyes. They're fighting with each other, fighting with each other, and it's great to watch. I have to say, just seeing wee Jim Alister's face, this wee face, which looks like he's taking a shit every single day of the week when he's sitting in Stormont, talking away, waffling. It's great to see him mumbling on. The loyalist state is over, folks. So I have to say, and we are winning this war, slow and steady wins the race. I have to say. So there you go. Right, let's see. A few more comments jumping in. Gary Sharvin says, "For my start, watch you from a year ago. I love your songs up there. Cheers, mate." Marty is still waiting on to go and pick up Elaine from the hospital. Hopefully she does get out tonight. With a bit of luck. Let's see. James David McClave says, "Love you, please play the Black Watch before the end of the show." I've already played it, James. I played the Black Watch by the Irish Brigade about 10 minutes ago. So how did you miss that, mate? Is that the one crap song you thought was playing and you went out of it to go and donate to the show? But yep, Black Watch has already been played. Right, so obviously we had Lee Brockerville on there, so we did. We're going to play one of his songs now from his album, Songs of Irish Rebellion, Volume 1. Obviously we all had Lee on the show there a few months ago. Great chat it was, great interview. So it was. Yeah, before we get that their song on there, I'll just put this here again, folks, that we ad I'll put up there. If there's anybody out there that would like to sponsor the show, basically, so what you have is, I'm looking actually somebody to sponsor Rebel Sundays itself as the show. I mean, so be it could be a bar, a band or whatever, or somebody's putting on a night. Basically, you can have access to my over like 20,000 followers on Facebook, all the YouTube viewers I have, all the Instagram followers I have, all the Twitter followers I have. Basically, your name and your brand will be all over this show. It'll be over the screens, it'll be over my branding and all the other social media. So if you are interested, get in touch with me on Twitter or Instagram or Facebook, whatever. Send me a wee PM if you maybe want to get your brand out. You could be sponsoring the show every single week, folks, and you'll see all these here details we'll put across the show, all the branding like this here throughout the middle of the song. So if anyone is interested and maybe sponsoring the show, give us a wee shout, and we'll definitely be able to do something with you. A few more comments here, just jumping in. So there is Studs Lanigan says, one second, we'll get that off there. Says, it was music that kept our spirits free, those songs of yours and mine. Definitely. Right, so this one, we're going to do a song from Lee Brockerville's album, Songs of Irish Rebellion, Volume 1. Here we go. And this is, somebody asked me to play Come Out to Black and Tan. So this is Lee's version of this song. Absolutely phenomenal version. Love this album, so it's class. So here we go. This is Lee Brockerville, folks, on Rebel Sundays. Last few songs of the day. This is Come Out to Black and Tans. Here we go.
I was born in a Dublin street where the lion runs the beat, and the loving English feet they tramped all over us. And each and every night when my father came home tired, he'd invite the neighbours outside with his chorus. Come out, you black and tans, come out and fight me like a man. Show your wife how you would medals down in Flanders. Tell her how the IRI made you run like Callaway from the green and love lights of Kilshandra. Come let me hear you tell how you swam the red power now. Well, you taught him well and truly persecuted. Where are the stairs and
There we go, the brilliant Lee Brockerville from Newfoundland in Canada. And cheers to Lee as well. He sent me over actually the Newfoundland flag, which is a bit like an Irish tricolour, so it is, and a copy of his album. So cheers, mate. So you'll be glad to know that Gary Oak now has your copy of that album, Lee. So this you sent me over. I was looking into the hard drive here. So when I was in Ballycastle there a few months ago with Gary playing, I gave him it to him. I said, listen, have a listen to this guy here. So he had it in the CD player in his car. So it's yep. Right, folks, doing the last 2 songs of the day. Thank you very much to all you for tuning in this afternoon. It's been great. Marty Kane there says, thank you, Ro, for another great show. Come up with the next week. Cheers, mate. Let's see. Valerie Lenny says, yeah, can't wait for next week's show again. Beaver, he says, if you play Jackie Dudley, I won't tell people I know you. Yes, don't worry. Jackie Dudley is going to be on. We're going to play it, the last 2 songs of the day, so we are. So not this one, but the last one after this will be Jackie Dudley. And obviously, we'll do that one for all the people at Derry. I know there's a big crowd listening today in the Derry City Sports Social Club before Barry Davey comes on. And then obviously the legendary Irish Brigade tonight. So cheers to all Illusions, and I'll see us all in the Derry City Sports and Social Club on St Patrick's Day at some stage. So we'll do Jackie Dudley for all Illusions. Right, so here we go. This is a song, somebody asked me to play earlier on, Song for Ireland. Go do this version here. One of the best versions I've heard. This is from Ronan McDonald's album that they released there, Stories of the Land, the Shanachie Sessions, just an Irish collection of songs. Fantastic album, folks. And if you haven't got this album, you need to get it. It's phenomenal. So it's a Song for Ireland. This is the album that Joseph Mary is on, so it is that you've heard me. It was on my album, so it was. This is sung by Aaron Carlin, this one. So sit and enjoy this one, folks. This is the second last song of the day. This is a Song for Ireland on Rebel Sundays, folks. So here we go.
Walking all the day near tall towers where falcons build their nests. Silver winged they fly. They know the call of freedom in their breasts. Soar back head against the sky, between the rocks that run down to the sea, living on your western shore. Saw summer sunsets, asked for more. I stood by your Atlantic sea, and I sang a song for Ireland. Talking all the day with true friends who try to make you stay, telling jokes and news, singing songs to pass the night away. Watch the Galway salmon run like silver dancing, darting in the sun, living on your western shore. Saw summer sunsets, asked for more. I stood by your Atlantic sea and sang a song for Ireland. Drinking all the day in old pubs where fiddlers love to play. Someone touched the bow. He played a reel that seemed so fine and gay. Stood on Dingle Beach and cast in wild form. We found Atlantic bass, living on your western shore. Saw stood by your Atlantic sea and sang a song for Ireland. Dreaming in the night, I saw a land where no man had to fight. Waking in your door, I saw you crying in the morning light. Lying where the falcons fly, they twist and turn all in your air blue sky. Living on your western shore, saw summer sunsets, asked for more. I stood by your Atlantic sea and sang a song for Ireland.
Yeah, it's Aaron Carlin there, folks, with Song for Ireland on Rebel Sundays on the Rebel podcast. So we're going to finish up with one more song for you again. Thanks to everyone who has tuned in today. Thanks to Damian Quinn, who came on for a great interview. Great way to start the year of shows on the Rebel podcast, Rebel Sundays, and myself, Ro. So yeah, Damian, thank you very much. Some great comments. We're doing well, very, very well, I have to say. So we're going to play one more song, folks. If you haven't already donated to the show, please do. I say any wee donations, big or small, every week does help keeping the show going every Sunday. I wouldn't be here doing this every week without all yous here throw me a few quid to help keep all this shit in front of me here that you can't see right now actually going, you know. So I can't. Yeah, we're going to play one more wee mention of this here tomorrow night, folks. If you can tune in, it'll be much appreciated. So I'm going to be on Detroit's Irish Music Cafe tomorrow night from 9:30. I'm going to be doing an interview with Paddy Johnson live on the air on his online radio show, and he's going to be playing a few songs from my album that I released last year, The Ribs for Hope. We'll be talking about the album, we'll be talking about all about the podcast, how it started up, how Rebel Sunday started up, and basically just a bit of background into my background into the Irish Rebel scene, you know. So I'm really looking forward to that there. So if you could all tune in, it'd be much appreciated. I'll be posting a link tomorrow night on Twitter and Facebook. So if anybody wants to tune in, it'll be on live from 9:30. Folks, we're going to be the last song of the day. Do this for Beaver, who asked for it, also James Devin McClave as well, who asked for it. And for everyone who's tuning in today live from the Derry City Sports and Social Club, this is for all you ones. This is the brilliant Jerry Dougie Breslin with Jackie Duddy as the last song of the day, folks. So thank you very much to all of you for tuning in once again. Just love this song. Very, very emotional. Here we go.
Jackie, I remember your face from a far distant place. Yes, I do. Jackie, you were an innocent boy. Why did they destroy your future owed to you? You came from a home of 9 sisters and 5 brothers. Up in the Craigan, you were my cousin. You worked with me brother Dusty, named after me father. Died in springtime, tending looms. Jackie, you were just 17 when they shattered your dreams, and we never got over it. Jackie, you'd have found a good wife and had a wonderful life and raised your wings well. In 68, your mother Maureen, she died, and with Willie, your father, we cried. She was so very young. Her sister Dolly said if Maureen had survived, she'd have been in the coffin by your side. Your mother couldn't have coped. Jackie, you were good in the ring, 'cause that was your thing. You would have been a champion. Jackie, your nephew John did you pride. He's recognized by the crowd as fulfilling your ambitions. Your face is painted in murals down in the bog, and I pray to God that you'll not be forgotten. That day in 72 which etched on our minds, the day that innocence died, they called it Bloody Sunday. Jackie, there were 13 others as well, more unfinished stories to tell. Jackie, 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 our Jackie, Jackie Duddy. On a summer's day in Derry in 2010, thousands gathered again, and the world looked on. The British government said sorry and admitted the wrong. The clapping went on and on, the cheering went on and on. Jackie, your innocence was declared, your family's voices were heard after 38 years. Jackie, now you can rest in peace. The false accusations have ceased. The truth has been set free. Honey Doherty, Gerald Donaghy, Hugh Gilmore and Michael Kelly, Michael McDade, Kevin McElhenney, Bernard McGuigan and Gerald McKinney, William McKinney, William Nash, James Ray, John Johnston, John Young and Jackie Duddy.
You folks, a fantastic year as usual. That's what for Beaver and James will have asked one. And so folks, I've made a sort of decision now. I'm going to finish the show every single week now with a song. It's just a powerful tune, so it is. And obviously, because it does get requested every week, there's like a lot of songs we do play most weeks in the show. Well, this one is up there, and it's such a powerful song, so it is. And fair play to Jerry Breslin for writing it. It's absolutely amazing bit of work, so it is. And just when you listen to the words, it's kind of happy each time. Just get a wee tear in your eye and going like, those bastards, like what they've done to those people. Right, so we're going to finish up here, folks. That's us. So, first, I can't roll on the 5 o'clock. I'm sorry, we'll have to finish at 4. We're slightly over 4 o'clock. So, again, folks, thank you very much to all these tuning in today. And we'll be back next Sunday. Just myself, no guest next week. So, I'll see you all next week. And we're going to finish up the show as usual with Around the Vein, folks. So, until then, see you all next week. Thank you very much. Chucky Arla. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday, whatever you're up to. And thank you very much. See you all next Sunday.
Winds are slow, her tender rannikel, they fudge face hair, shanty, a shun share pasta, the akbar, pantera, not and dots, I in Sabar Noel. They gone their kettle on boss no sell. They gone their scrape. They love na be left. Charlotte Canning.
again.
You've been listening to Rebel podcast of Rory Carson. To listen to this and past episodes again, and to also check out future episodes, keep an eye on our official SoundCloud page. We're also available on all social media outlets. Just search Rebel podcast. Bhí sé bhgéisteach an sin leis an fád cruúlaí Rebel le Rory McCarson. Le héisteach le seo agus hir hagran arís, agus na hagran atá le teach, caisúil ar siú efigil sugin ar SoundCloud, agus táid ar fáil ar gach cinneal ardan ar na main thuirseachta. Ní mór dit ach fád cruúlaí Rebel a curda.